the squad together for this year's Junior Grizzlies 3-on-3 tournament. Presented by 2K at the Built Ford Tough practice facility inside FedEx Forum. On Saturday, January 4th, teams will compete in 3 games before advancing to single elimination play. Overall winners from the 10 and under, 12 and under, and 14 and under divisions will win Grizzlies tickets, including exclusive access to the pregame team shoot-around before the Grizz take on the Pelicans January 24th. Sign up today at hoopitup.com/Grizzlies.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Our fans have a huge impact on our ability to play to the level that we're striving for.
Drop off, Morant. Oh! Well, you wanted home crowd involvement.
I love those moments where you see our guys engaging in the fans, and the fans just get pumped up.
They are standing in FedEx Forum.
I would hate to be on the other side with the opposition when FedEx Forum's rolling. That's such an unbelievable relationship that our group has with our fans.
Anticipate each challenge, make a quick response, capitalize on every opportunity, and win. Greatness won't wait. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies checking from Pinnacle. Play hard. Bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st, and you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Live from the Built Ford Tough studio at FedEx Forum, it's the Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South, on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Now, here's your host, Gary Parrish.
All right. I'm here. My name is Gary Parrish. I'm speaking to you from the Built Ford Tough studio, FedEx Forum, downtown Memphis. Look at that. Devin Walker producing the program. Glad he's with me. Glad you're with me. Hope you're getting through the day best you can. And I hope you're ready for game 31 of a scheduled 82 tonight inside FedEx Forum, because tip-off is roughly 9 hours away. Raptors are in town. They stink. This should be fun. Grizz double-digit favorites at home. We'll get you ready for it momentarily. First, though, quickly, let me set today's schedule for you. Mike Wallace, senior editor, Grind City Media. He's going to join me in about 20 minutes. Pops in with me on Thursdays. He's going to be with me in the next segment. He'll help us get ready for Grizz Raptors. I'll talk all things NBA. Mike Wallace is going to be here in the next segment. When I finish talking to Mike, we're going to take a break, come back, do 5 more things we need to know, at which point we're going to discuss 5 previously undiscussed stories, among them Beyonce. Murdered the halftime show during Ravens-Texans in Houston. The GOAT, she was wonderful on Netflix. We'll celebrate Beyonce. We'll do it in about 40 minutes. In the actual game, Lamar Jackson went into the record books. He now is the all-time career rushing leader in the NFL among quarterbacks. Broke the record previously held by Michael Vick. He also ran 21.25 miles per hour at one point in the game. That's the career best top speed for the 2-time MVP. We'll talk about Ravens, Lamar Jackson. We'll do it a little later on in the show. The Kansas City Chiefs have clinched the #1 seed in the AFC playoffs. They did that with a win in Pittsburgh yesterday. They are the back-to-back Super Bowl champs. They are 15-1. They are already the 1 seed in the AFC, and they're still not the favorite to win the Super Bowl. Strange. I'm not arguing with it. I'm just saying it's unusual. We'll dive into that. We'll do it a little later on in the show. This is our last live show before the weekend, specifically before Memphis host Ole Miss inside FedEx Forum. So we'll spend a few minutes on that. We'll do it in the second hour. And Timothy Chalamet's Bob Dylan biopic, A Complete Unknown, it opened on Christmas. Christmas was yesterday. Merry Christmas, everybody, by the way. We went and saw it. I'll give you a review. We'll do that during a segment we call 5 More Things You Need to Know. Then we'll eventually do GP's carry out, and we'll call it a day. So that's the rundown. We got a lot to get to, but I did want to start with your Memphis Grizzlies because game 31 of a scheduled 82 it is set for tonight inside FedEx Forum. Tip a little after 7 o'clock. Tickets are available, Grizzlies.com. Like I mentioned earlier, it's the lackluster Raptors in town. 7-23 record. They are currently 1-13 this season inside the United States of America. They can't compete in this country, Devin. Hey, good to see you, Devin. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Trivia time. Let's just start it with a trivia time.
I like trivia.
You ready for a trivia time?
I like trivia.
I just told you that the lackluster Raptors are terrible in the United States of America. They are 1-13 this season inside the United States of America. Can you name, this is the trivia time, can you name the one city where the lowly lackluster Raptors have won a basketball game so far this season?
I'm going to go Atlanta.
They did not win in Atlanta.
Oh, that's tough. That's tough.
They did not even.
Is it in the South?
It is in the South.
Okay.
Further south than us. In fact, if you were going to go there, I would advise you get on 55 South.
Okay. I'm not good at directions, but I'm going to go with.
Just think below us. Think Mississippi River below us.
Okay. New Orleans.
New Orleans, Louisiana is the answer.
Let's go.
The only time the Raptors have won a game in the United States of America this season, it came in New Orleans. They beat the Pelicans on November 27th. The final score there was 119-93. Former Kansas star Ochai Agbaji led them in scoring on that night with 24 points. I forgot he existed.
Me too. I didn't know he was in the league.
I didn't know he was still with us. It's good to know Ochai Agbaji is still with us. So just to bottom line this for you, understand that when the Pelicans became the only team to lose to the Raptors in the United States of America so far this season, they were missing Zion Williamson and Brandon Ingram, which means literally the only time the Raptors have won a game in the United States of America this season, it involved the Pelicans, who are 5-25, by the way, and they were missing their top two scorers. Embarrassing all around. Marc Gasol did not go win them a championship just to watch them turn around and do this.
Man, Mo Pete is probably rolling in his grave right now, man. Mo Pete is not happy about this. Vince Carter is not happy about this. What's number 20? Alvin Williams is not happy about this. They're rolling. But tonight's a good night. I get some good news for you. Come on. I love good news. You know I'm a big fashion guy.
Yeah, of course. Look at you.
I've had this game circled since we announced this. You want to know why?
I don't know.
We're going to celebrate Canada tonight, GP. We're celebrating Canada tonight.
I'm not celebrating Canada.
We're celebrating Canada tonight. We're not celebrating Canada?
No.
Well, tonight on the court, we're going to celebrate Canada. As you know, the Grizzlies have their all-white Vancouver uniforms.
Yep.
You love them. We love them. Top 10.
You know what? I'm not going to lie. I don't love them.
Oh, you don't like the Vancouver thing? Okay.
No, I don't love them.
I forgot you.
I don't love them. I love the way they look. I just don't like the word Vancouver.
Agreed.
This is our team. We stole them fair and square.
Yeah, we did.
We stole our franchise fair and square.
We should let us have it.
It's ours.
It's ours.
It's ours.
I
like
agree.
if Vancouver wants to have their name on an NBA jersey, I got some advice. Get you an NBA team. This one's ours. I don't like. I'm not going to run downstairs and pick a fight about it.
Yeah.
But I've never liked Vancouver on the chest of Memphis players.
Yeah, it is kind of weird because we have no connection other than we stole the team, right?
Most people in Memphis don't even know where Vancouver is.
100%.
You don't even know where New Orleans is.
I have no idea where it is. I know it's in Canada somewhere, but they're going to wear those jerseys.
Where do you think it is in Canada?
Somewhere in Canada.
Yeah, but
like northern Canada, maybe.
Like if you were like looking at Canada, like the United States is like this, and then Canada's up here.
Yeah.
Where do you think?
Okay, look, we're gonna square it out.
Yeah,
it's probably like right there.
It's up over there.
It's up there.
It's up there. It's up over there.
It's up there.
It's up over there to the left.
I don't know anything about it, but I've heard.
Just say it's up and to the left.
Up and to the left.
It's up and to the left.
The streets told me that Vancouver's not the best place to hang out.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
So the streets lied.
I mean, maybe.
The streets lied to me.
Maybe. But Donald, maybe, but like I can't speak for the streets.
Okay.
All right? Do I look like I'm capable of speaking for the streets?
I mean, you got a pink hoodie on.
Yeah, maybe I am capable. Maybe I need to give myself a little more credit.
Yeah, come on now.
There's a funny story a little bit like this that Donald Glover tells.
Yeah.
Childish Gambino, if you will, about Chief Keef.
Yeah.
He said there's a story he heard about Chief Keef.
Oh, no.
And it's like, he's talking about this stuff. He's like, man, like sometimes guys just want to be where they're at. And they don't have any use for anything outside of that.
Yeah.
And he said there's a story. Donald Glover's laughing at it. He's like, I heard the story, and like somebody and somebody else are with Chief Keef in Paris. and like you're in Paris, and Chief Keef's like, man, this ain't it.
So maybe that's probably what I talked to. That's who I talked to that said Vancouver.
You were talking to Chief Keef or one of Chief Keef's friends, and they were like, I don't know about Vancouver. But by all accounts, it's a beautiful place.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
I would like to visit it someday.
Hey.
I just don't like seeing it across the jersey.
Yeah, it's weird.
But,
I agree.
But we are getting sidetracked.
We are. So the Grizzlies are going to wear Vancouver across their chest
That's
tonight.
fine. I'm
All
okay.
white,
I'm okay.
barrel-
It's the
barrel
day
on the
after
side.
Christmas. You think I'm going to get mad about something like that the day after Christmas?
No. We're in a jolly mood around here.
That's right.
They're going to wear the big Grizzly on the shorts.
Yeah.
On the other side, this is the most important part, GP.
Okay, good.
Toronto's going to wear Toronto across their chest because they're from the Toronto.
I heard
Toronto,
that. Yeah. They're up there too.
Up there too with the guy that we don't like.
They're more that way.
okay.
There's like more like if you were going to point, you'd be like Vancouver's up the air and Toronto's over yonder.
So if we do like the finger thing,
Yeah.
All right, are we going to do it? How far?
Like if we're Memphis, we're going to put our two fingers and we're going to say this is Memphis.
Okay.
And if we're going to take off one finger and go to Toronto and one finger and go to Vancouver, we're going to do it just like this.
Oh wow, opposite sides.
Yeah.
Okay, so tonight's the Battle of Canada because they're wearing Toronto, but they're wearing the throwbacks. GP.
Battle Canada.
They're doing
nobody wins.
They're
Battle
doing
Canada.
the purple.
Nobody wins.
Nobody wins.
Battle Canada. Nobody wins.
Nobody wins. Okay.
Bunch of master manipulators, and
really,
habitual liars, and colonizers.
Hey.
I don't.
Certified lover boy. Certified. Bop, 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 bop.
I'm not going to celebrate it. You can if you want to.
I won't celebrate it. Mike T, look, I'm giving you a note right now.
I'm an American.
We
I'm
need
sorry.
all
I'm an American.
Kendrick Lamar on the track list tonight for that reason.
Yes.
But tonight, look at that's the jersey matchup. GP. We got the white Vancouver with the purple Toronto. I've had this circled because it's like two of the best uniforms in history going head to head. Shout out to our equipment managers for putting this together. Y'all, all y'all. Shout out to y'all because tonight's going to be a glorious night for a guy who takes photos.
Yeah.
It's going to look good on photos.
Hey, 11.5-point favorite. So it should be a fun night, a beautiful night, and also a fun night.
Yes.
Tickets available, Grizzlies.com. Tip-off scheduled a little after 7 o'clock. Tonight's game is obviously the first game since the Grizzlies lost to the Clippers on Monday night. The final score there was 114-110. I do want to spend a little time there because I thought there was something that crystallized late in that game that I think was actually important. And it starts, I don't want to say it starts happening here, but let's pick it up. There's 47.1 seconds left in regulation. The game's tied 108. Jalen Wells is guarding James Harden. Jalen Wells has been unbelievable. 39th pick in the draft. He's a rookie. He's starting on a Western Conference contender, the franchise that has the third best record in the West right now, and he looks comfortable. He's not necessarily starting because people are hurt. That was it once. But like some people who we thought would start ain't hurt no more, or at least have been healthy in points, and he's maintained that spot. He's been amazing. But we got into an issue in those final 50 seconds.
It got spooky for our guy, man.
That's just tough. I mean, that's just a lot to ask somebody. Yeah. For people who maybe didn't see it or have forgotten it because a lot's happened between then and now, most notably Santa Claus came
he pulled
to town.
up. He pulled up on us.
Most notably Santa Claus pulled up. So we're tied. 47 seconds left. 108. And Jalen Wells is guarding James Harden. The Clippers recognize this. And let me be clear. I don't think it matters who's guarding James Harden. The ball is going to be in James Harden's hands.
100%.
So I shouldn't say like they recognize Jalen Wells and they're like, oh, we got it. James Harden's going to touch that ball no matter what. But, my bad.
That's crazy.
But, the Clippers, how about this? Maybe the Grizzlies recognized it more than the Clippers did.
Yeah.
Because you come out of the timeout and what do the Grizzlies do? They run Ja at James to get the ball out of his hands to force something. The implication being we're not about to leave our rookie out here on an island against one of the greatest one-on-one players of all time.
Regardless of how you feel about him.
He's one of the greatest one-on-one players of all time.
He's a walking bucket, for
He's
sure.
going to score on you. He's going to get you off balance. He's going to draw a foul. He's going to and one. He's going to step back. He's one of the, regardless of how you feel about James Harden, he is one of the greatest one-on-one players of all time. That's a tough assignment for anybody, but especially the 39th pick of the draft that was less than a year ago.
Who was a D2 player 2 years ago?
I mean, you don't see, even when you're in the Pac-12,
sorry, Jess.
Yeah, you're guarding Bronny James at USC. Respectfully. You're not dealing with James Harden.
Yeah.
So, but he is in this moment because Marcus Smart is hurt. We'll get back to that.
Messed up fingers. We got to get that together.
So they run Ja at him. He just passes out of it. And then it's just a quick, dump off to Zubats. Easy dunk. I mean, it's just wide open dunk. I mean, it's the final minute of a tie game. And it's just because you didn't trust, understandably so, your rookie wing to guard James Harden without help. So you threw Ja over there. And then it was really just skip pass, dump off, easy dunk, basketball stuff.
Yep, he's seen that before plenty of times.
It was really like, it was like a shortstop turning a double play.
Yep.
You don't even have to think about it.
Light
Like
work.
if you're gonna run at me like this is how this is gonna go. Boom, boom, dunk, easy. Next possession, they don't run Ja at him, but Dez has to help. And when Dez has to help, it's just a quick little pass to Norman Powell. Now we're in scramble. Santi rotates.
He tried.
But at that point, he's so out of position that his momentum, Norman Powell's just 2 dribbles, little elbow jumper, boom. Next Clippers possession, foul, 2 free throws. The game ends 114-110 on the Clippers' final 3 possessions. In the final 50 seconds, they averaged 2 points per possession. That's tough.
That's tough to win a game.
And every one of them was like, but the first 2 were, they had an incredible matchup, and the Grizzlies had one that wasn't so favorable. And if you were one of those people who wonders why Marcus Smart is on this team, wonders why, if you have so much guard depth and wing depth now, is that somebody who should be made available? Other franchises reportedly have made those phone calls. If you're wondering why, if you're the Grizzlies front office, and I want to be clear, I'm not saying they will not consider moving him at the deadline if it makes sense. But if you're wondering why they might be hesitant to do something like that, it's because of moments like that.
Exactly.
It's because of that moment. Because if Marcus Smart is healthy Monday night, that's his assignment. And you know what? Ja Morant is never running over there like that. There is no Marcus Smart wouldn't even let him.
Yeah, he was like, "Yo, get your ass back over there. I got this.
Go. I got this. Y'all go over there and play. We're gonna do this."
Yeah, we got.
And you know what? He might get cooked, but you eliminate all the other stuff because you got somebody out there who you say, "This is why we pay you." Go. This is quite literally why we pay you.
Yep.
It's not for second quarter 3-pointers. It's for this moment right now. We got to win this game. And it's one thing when it's a Monday night game just before Christmas in December. Eventually, this type of moment will come in a playoff game. It'll be game 3 on the road. It'll be game 7 at home. It'll be tie score. You go to break on ABC. You come back. Let's go.
Let's go. We got to win the game now on defense.
That's Marcus Smart's job.
Check ball.
Whether it's James Harden or any other elite guard who's going to have the ball in his hands, you're going to give that assignment probably to Marcus Smart. And you saw what happened when he wasn't available to take that assignment.
Yeah, and for Jalen, like, you get those scars as a rookie. Like, you'll learn from this, right? You'll get better. You'll be all right. But like you said, in those moments like that, it makes you realize, like, yo, you got to have 36 out there because he is a depoy. For a reason.
You got to have somebody who you at least think can try to do this by himself. That first possession with 47 seconds left was so obvious. It was just like, if we don't get the ball out of his hands, this is going to be bad.
Yep.
This is going to be bad. So, and it ended up bad, but they felt like they had to do that because just playing it straight up wasn't ideal.
And he's done a good job on a good amount of stars this year. Jalen has as a defender. He's surprised a lot of people.
He's a plus defender.
He's a great for what he's a good defender, right? Yeah. But like you said, like in those moments, it's a different when you're dealing with James Harden.
Right.
When that beard starts shaking, when that ball starts moving.
And keep in mind, like, I do think sometimes this, and Jalen's been great about this season, but I can't imagine there aren't moments, even this deep into your rookie year, where you look up and go, "Ooh, boy, this is something." You know, like, you don't expect, even when you're picked 39th in the draft, you ready for this? Even when you're picked 39th in the draft, you don't expect to be guarding James Harden in the final minute of your rookie season.
No chance.
You expect to be guarding whoever the G
Buddy
League.
Boeheim. Buddy Boeheim.
That's
on
right.
a Wednesday night at Landerson.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's what you think your job's going to be.
Yeah.
You dream of a bigger job, but what you think your job is going to be is guarding Buddy Boeheim at the Lander Center.
Yeah.
Now you're guarding James Harden, and I do think there's a moment. If it's not a moment for Jalen, he's better than I am. Because you got to understand, yes, he was in D2 2 years ago. Before that, he was a kid. Who was a kid who grew up watching James Harden. Who's a kid who watched James Harden win an MVP.
Yep.
And now whoa,
I'm here.
How did I get here? That's a weird.
Crayon Shin defense, and it's just mano-a-mano.
Yeah, that's where you're like, John, get over here.
Yo, hey, somebody.
John, get over here.
This is a little, because he's guarded LeBron.
Yeah.
He's guarded Luka.
Yeah.
Like he has gotten some assignments. So even like him, like the guys like Vince.
Yeah.
Those are guys we have for those moments. But yeah, Jalen, you've done a great job.
Yeah, you got to live through some of this.
Yeah, you got to live through it. You
got to
learn from it.
Yes, you got to. But like that was a moment that I thought that was an important moment.
Yeah.
And
by the way, what is this Ricky Ladder thing, GP? Oh, that's disrespectful. What is going on? Why is Stephon Castle hooping?
I guess he must be. I only see Wemby hooping when I turn on the
Same
Spurs.
here.
When I turn on the Spurs, all I see is Wemby.
Yeah, I see Wemby. I don't see.
I didn't even know Wemby had teammates. But apparently Stephon Castle is one of them, and good for him.
Yeah, so happy for you.
All right. Mike Wallace, senior editor, Grind City Media. He'll join me next.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing beats catching your Grizzlies IRL, and nobody knows that better than you. So next time you want to hit up a game, Ticketmaster's got your back with tickets to every upcoming matchup. Whether you're catching the Grizzlies at home or on the road, you'll find tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Keep putting that jersey collection to use and get Grizzlies tickets today. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside again soon, Memphis.
Grizz Nation, it's time to send Ja, Jaren, and Dez to the 2025 All-Star Game.
Oh! What did we just see, partner?
Take three! Bane for three. Bingo! This man Bane heating it up. Blocked by Jaren!
Most versatile power forward in the game today.
Head to NBA.com/vote, the NBA app, or simply use the QR code on the screen to send your Grizzlies to the All-Star Game today.
Grizzlies are just having fun out there tonight. Morant around a screen, bumped by Wagner. No look to Smart, lays it up on the window and in, and it is all Grizz. The Grizzlies have the fans on their feet at FedEx Forum.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans, want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you during the Grizzlies 2024-2025 season? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Southland Casino Hotel is helping you navigate to Santa. Win your share of up to $340,000 in free play or a 2024 Lincoln Navigator. Here Comes Santa kicks off November 24th. Get one free entry and earn additional entries for weekly Saturday drawings. Don't forget the grand finale drawing on Saturday, December 21st to win up to $5,000 in free play or a 2024 Lincoln Navigator. Win big during Here Comes Santa, only at Southland Casino Hotel.
Must be 21 plus. Play responsibly. For help quoting, call 800-522-4700.
Welcome back, Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South. We're inside the Built Ford Tough studio. And on Thursdays in the second segment, I'm joined by senior editor, Grind City Media. It's the legend, Mike Wallace, live right here on Skype. Mike Wallace is GP. Merry Christmas. How are you?
Hey, Merry Christmas to you, man. Happy holidays to you and your family and all of those that are in the listening and watching audience, man. So peace and blessings and Happy New Year in 2025 to come.
I want to tell you, you've positively impacted my life over the past week. Do you know what I do now every time I park? I swear to God, this is true. I'd never even thought about it before. I straighten my wheels I straighten my wheels. And what I realized in my car, there's a thing on the dashboard that, like, when I turn my wheel, it turns like this, so I can actually see when my wheels are perfectly straight. Man, I was hoping so badly your car would. I was hoping we'd pull in at the same time today. I wanted you to see it. I wanted you to see how far I've come with parking. I'm getting better.
Man, I may drive in just to see that today, man. That might be the gift that keeps on giving, Gary. I'm just glad that we can work together on that, man. And I saw you had the potential. I saw the potential in you. And, like you said, you just need a little coaching, man. And, you would do the same for me.
That's right. And I wanted to be I haven't always been as coachable as I should be. I think perhaps some of my former bosses, maybe even current bosses, would tell you that. But I'm trying to be more coachable. I wasn't sure I could still learn things at this age, but look at me. I straightened my park and I straightened my wheels. I looked at my lines. We went to the movies last night, and I parked and I got out of the car, and I just wasn't right, and I made everybody get back in the car. I said Mike would be so disappointed if he saw this. Everybody close your doors. We're going to do this right. I'm doing it right. I'm better today than I was last week.
Are you leave wheels, like turn left guy?
Bad.
Oh, you're that guy.
I was, but not anymore. I was that guy, but Mike fixed me. Mike fixed me just like that. I didn't know. I didn't even know what I was doing. Yeah. You ever like, just you don't know.
Yeah, you don't know till you know.
You don't know till you know. I didn't know, but Mike taught me. I feel like he was holding it in for a while. I've been parking next to this dude for 2 years. He's been holding it in for a while. But we fixed it, and now we're better. We're both better for it.
Love to see it.
That's all it's about, man.
That's all it's about. When people ask you about Christmas, that's what it's all about. Yeah. That's what it's all about.
Gift to giving.
Hey, we got the Raptors in town tonight. They stink. We'll talk about them later. The Clippers were in town on Monday night. That's the most recent game. It was tied, 50 seconds left, and then the Clippers never stopped scoring from that point. There were 2 possessions with easy buckets that started with James Harden holding the ball, Jalen Wells guarding him. We all agree Jalen Wells has been awesome this season, a legitimate Rookie of the Year candidate after being picked 39th. That's amazing. He's a starter for a Western Conference contender. Incredible. And it's possible anybody would have struggled with that assignment, Harden in the final minute of a tie game. But I did think that was a moment that made you realize 2 things can be true at the same time. Jalen Wells can be amazing, and we're lucky to have him, but you do need somebody, maybe like a Marcus Smart, even a Vince Williams perhaps, but somebody different in that moment. What do you make of that assessment?
Yeah, in that moment, and you're right. And James Harden was not good for, 40 minutes of that game, and all he needed was 3 possessions to have his impact. And in that situation, it's unfortunate because you saw it coming. You saw it, okay, as long as the Clippers were able to hang around, as long as those guys were able to do what they needed to do, Zubac was the problem. Like, Zubac consistently was the problem for all game. And then James Harden only needed 3 possessions to really take over. And yes, you're right. Jalen Wells is an aggressive defender. He's an improving defender. He's he's one of those defenders that's learning every single time. He's fearless. But it's James Harden. And 2 things are going to always go against Jalen Wells in this situation. Number 1, James Harden is a better offensive player than Jalen Wells is a defender. And number 2, if there's a benefit of the doubt in terms of fouls and calls, it's going to lean towards James Harden. And he executed in that moment. And fortunately for Taylor, he figured out after the second time, let's go double and get the ball out of his hands. And but by then, James had already did the 2 possessions that hurt you. So really, that was a 4-point game it turned out, and those 2 possessions were the 2 possessions that made the difference ultimately.
Yeah, down the stretch, in the final 50 seconds, the Clippers had 3 possessions, and they scored 2 points on all 3 possessions. It was the Zubac's dunk, the Norman Powell elbow jumper, and then a couple of free throws, and that, as they say, was the game. Either way, still, look, we're 30 games in, 20-10, alone in third in the West, with the Raptors in town tonight. And it comes after, I thought Ja, and you were in there talking to him after the game on Monday night, had some interesting post-game comments. Like, he seemed to be frustrated that he felt like he got bumped more than he should be getting bumped. He's not getting those calls as consistently as superstars tend to, or as often as he would like. So he referenced that without getting himself fined, but then also sort of just said, I got to be better. And, he had the late turnover. Just what did you make of everything Ja said in that locker room after that game?
I see Ja every day, and I've seen him every day this season, and I know how much he came into this season wanting to be different, wanting to be more mature, wanting to be, contrite and more personable and all of those things. And when adversity hits, you can see that he's struggling to make sure that he reminds himself, hey, I need to say this, do this, and act this way. And that was one of those instances in the locker room. Like, he clearly wanted to be frustrated. He clearly wanted to say some things about how he felt like, the referees aren't respecting him. And he didn't want to be, but he also didn't want to be fined. He didn't want to take away from the fact that, hey, I had a whole bunch of turnovers, right? And when you look at that box score and you see the Clippers had 25 or so points off turnovers and Ja led the team in turnovers, you got to start with accountability. And he did that. So, you give him credit for that. He is frustrated with the whistle that he's getting. As a matter of fact, his quote was, 12, get a different whistle, and that's what it is. And I know Devin can translate that, right? Because Devin speaks 12.
Shout out to my dog.
So he knows exactly. Yeah, he knows exactly what Ja was saying. But at the end of the day, what Ja has to do, and Taylor said the same thing, and they'll tell you this behind closed doors and off the record, is that Ja can't put himself in position where he's playing to troll and bait officials.
Right.
Every drive to the basket can't be a layup attempt and then a flail and then a look at the officials, because they're never going to give you the whistle in that situation. It's something Jaren had to learn, but it took Jaren 3 seasons or 4 seasons to learn that. And he still has those bouts, but Ja has to understand, listen, man, you're not going to get the respect if you continue to complain. As a matter of fact, that's only going to make it worse. And I think he's learning that, and he's going to try to adjust tonight.
Well, it's an interesting sort of thing that we're dealing with here, because Ja, I think more so than any star player I can remember in recent years, or maybe ever, has made it clear, I'm not trying to dunk anymore. I don't want to. That's not something I'm after, trying to poster guys the way I once did. He literally said it to James Harden in the game on Monday night. And so the new approach a lot of times is to get into the lane, and then he's spinning away from contact. And we understand we don't want him getting hit as often, but also coaches from the age of 6 up tell you to go into contact and create the contact and be aggressive in it. And so we've got these two conflicting approaches that are leading to, I think, some frustration.
Yeah, and the thing about it is this, man, like Ja Morant, he had to sit out the game in Atlanta because of a back flare up. That wasn't even a dunk attempt. That was a going to the drive, to the layup, and you're going to get contact. There's going to be contact there. And his degree of difficulty is already astronomical in terms of how he's able to contort his body athletically. And so he's going to make a spectacular move. And all it takes is a little bit of a contact for him to feel like, hey, I've been egregiously fouled. So, he's got to be able to play through that and finish through that, because a lot of his attack is in the paint, right? Like James and some of these other guys, they're out on the perimeter dancing. They're doing things to do step backs. They're moving and getting into that, type of action. Whereas Ja is more attack straight into the lane, and that's his game. Officials do have to adjust, and I think there's a way to do it. Like Michael Jordan used to do it the same way. Kobe Bryant always did it this way. And I've seen LeBron, but I also saw Dwayne Wade all the time do this. Once you get to a certain point in your career, you go up to the refs before the game and hey, how's your family? How's the kids? You know what I mean? And hey, listen, this is what I do. This is how I play. And these are some things that I've had issues with, and I want you to help guide me through this, as we get into the game. And having that personable approach with officials disarms them a little bit. They're still going to do their job. But you're also letting them know that, hey, my only communication with you isn't going to be me cussing you out after I feel like you missed a call. And then you build credibility that way. And I think Ja's going to learn that, and we'll see him grow in that way.
I've seen LeBron do that with refs literally in the middle of a game, in between possessions. Like, say, I've seen LeBron, sitting courtside. I've watched him do this. Mm-hmm. I'm about to tell you what's going to happen, and all I need you to do is watch it, and when you see what I'm telling you, blow your whistle. And he was talking to a ref, arm around the ref. They're grabbing me off this screen every time. I'm going to go in this corner. I'm going to come off this screen, and when I come off this screen, he's going to grab me. That's when you should blow your whistle. And then you watch it, and that is exactly what happens. And then they blow the whistle. And he knows what's coming. He tells them, look for this. Look for this. It's about to happen. And when you see it, you have to blow your whistle. And when they see it, they have to blow the whistle. That stuff does work.
It does. It does. And it's just about, like I said, your only communication with a guy, if it's, hey, ref, you missed a call, or you suck, or you MF, or whatever it is, that's not conducive to getting understanding. You know what I'm saying? You and I had to reach an understanding.
That's right.
parking, right? And I didn't come at you egregiously. You know, hey Gary, listen, man, you're not impinging my right to park in my spot. You're in the lines. You're doing what you need to do. But hey, here's the situation. You have a lot on your mind when you're coming in.
or almost nothing, depending on the day. I can have a lot or nothing, depending on the day.
We got through it. You know what I'm saying? Good job has to be.
In all seriousness, and I don't think this is apples to apples exactly, but you're a father. I'm a father. One of the things I try to do, and I don't know that I'm the best at it, but I don't want to just be talking to my kids every time they mess up their homework. I want to talk to them when they do right on their homework. Like I want to, for every time I say, hey, enough of this bullshit, I want to have 3 times where I've said, hey, I'm proud of you. That was great. That was wonderful. Good job. Like there are going to be things every day where you got to say, hey, that wasn't okay, but I want to balance it with the positive stuff. And I think when you're talking to officials, maybe there's some like that's a sensible approach as well. Like if all you're ever doing is yelling at me, at some point I don't even hear it anymore.
Yep. And no. You said you're not sure if that's an apples to apples, but it's exactly an apples to apples, right? It's about, and I'm studying this, right, in my master's classes, man. It's about audience-centered messaging, right? What are you trying to relay? It's not about what you're saying. It's about their ability to receive what you're saying. So how do you deposit what you're saying, get your point across, and allow them to receive it in a way that can be conducive and productive for your ultimate right and what you want to have happen? That's parenting in a nutshell, man. That's officiating in a nutshell. And listen, next time, I was about to say A12, but hey, Devin, get 12 on the line. Go ahead and bring them in. We'll have another session with the 4 of us, man, and we'll go ahead and fix this thing.
We can make this happen. My guy pulled up at the camp this weekend, man, on Christmas Eve. So, man, he can pull up everywhere.
Yeah.
I feel like we could all grow together.
We can.
I feel like we could all grow together.
Sit 12 in this seat right here.
He'd fit perfectly. Yeah. And he's got a little jaw right behind him.
There you go.
So it would work out. It would work out perfectly.
It's like a little penny.
Last thing before I let you go. Yesterday we had a pretty fun day of NBA basketball on Christmas. And if I'm telling you the truth, I didn't watch much of it. And a lot of it is because you have now Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce and the back-to-back Super Bowl champs, coming in an hour after Knicks Spurs get started. And then you've got Beyonce. And I've read about every game. I've seen all the highlights. I know Wemby was amazing and KD was great, and 3 of the 4 games were settled by single digits, but it felt like it was completely overshadowed because the NFL has just come in and stepped on them. Should the NBA look at this and try to figure out if there's a better way to go about it?
And that's the thing that the NBA has to understand. It's never going to win that head-to-head battle. Right. You know what I mean? And it's not the NFL guys that are saying, hey, this is our day. They just kind of moved in and took over, right? And it left LeBron James after a remarkable game. Like that's the one game I did watch from start to finish yesterday was Golden State and the Lakers. And at the end, in his walk-off, LeBron said, hey, NBA, NFL, this is our day. Well, the fact that you have to say that means that you're feeling like it might not be your day, right? That's you got to convince somebody. It's just, football in this country is head and shoulders above any other event, with the exception of election coverage, right? Like that is the single most event that everybody galvanizes around. The big game on Super Bowl Sunday, is a cultural phenomenon that links all of our cultures and all of our people in this country. So it's what the NBA has to realize in that situation is, all right, let's get creative with scheduling. We thought we had Christmas. The NFL moved in. So let's get Christmas Eve and still do Christmas. Let's not try to go head to head with these guys if we can help it. And it's not going to be a battle that the NBA can win, but it's one that they can be more strategic. They should have probably had a game on Christmas Eve.
There you go. There was no sports on Christmas Eve. There was
it should have been a game. And really, honestly, it should have been a game maybe on election night, right? It's you have to be able. You can't have so many nights where you're just politically saying I'm not going to play for whatever reason when you have all of these teams and all of these opportunities. So maybe they'll rethink that, and we'll see where it goes from there.
That is Mike Wallace, senior editor, Grind City Media. Make sure you follow him on X at my Mike Check. That's at my Mike Check. You're the best, buddy. I appreciate you. Thanks for being here. I'll see you soon.
All right, you guys have a good rest of the day, man. I'll see y'all.
Bye-bye. That's Mike Wallace, Grind City Media. Dev, you're exactly right. I noticed this. I don't think you and I are the only people who noticed this. I saw some people referencing it on social media. But Christmas Eve is there for the taking. Like, what day of the year where people are in their homes, not working for the most part, exist without sports at this point? Like, we've done Thanksgiving. We got that. We got Christmas. We've got New Year's. What are these? We've got MLK Day. Christmas Eve is just there for the taking.
Nothing's there.
Why wouldn't you take it? There's a bowl game on. And it's a bowl game that people watch and pretend to be excited about.
Because it's on TV.
Because it's the only thing there.
Yeah.
But like Christmas, everybody's lives are different, right? I recognize some people are working on Christmas Eve and all of that stuff. But most of us are at home.
At the crib, around our families.
We're with our families.
Yeah.
We're, waiting on Santa. Most of us are doing pretty similar things. Like, if you've got children and stuff, obviously if you're single, your Christmas Eve is different, I guess. But most of us are like just around the house.
Yeah.
And there's no sports on. And a lot of us, even if we don't watch sports every night, like, I got to watch sports tonight, it's just on. It's just around. There's just stuff happening. And suddenly it's Christmas Eve and there's nothing happening. I mean, we went to my mother-in-law's, but then we settled back in at house, and I thought this was actually smart by Netflix. They dropped the new Nate Bargatze stand-up.
There you go.
Now, I know he might not be for everybody, but like, it's no cursing, hilarious stand-up comedy for the family, if you wanted it for the family. Like, we didn't watch it with our kids because they went to bed, but we could have.
Something you put on TV,
Yeah, so it was like, that's what we did. We sat around and, waited for Santa and watched Nate Bargatze, and that was Netflix, I think, very intentionally saying, people are just going to be sitting around. Like, there's no reason just to drop that on a Tuesday, other than specifically, people are just going to be at home tonight looking for something to watch. Let's give them something to watch.
Yeah, I think a mix between that, too, and I think the matchups yesterday, even though the games are great. Like, I watched all the games, they were great. But even the matchups were not the beautiful matchups. I think the top 3 seeds in the West were not even featured in the games, right? Where it's not the best teams playing.
And this comes after, or at least in the same week, as this graphic circulating where the NBA says the most watched person in the NBA this year is LeBron James, but second is Ja Morant. Like, Ja Morant should be, if you're going to have a day dedicated to his celebration of NBA basketball, it's pretty clear you need Ja Morant in there.
All those names should be on TV.
Yeah, and they will be next year.
Yeah, for sure. We'll be working on Christmas next year, GP.
There's just, we will.
We're working. Just be ready. Yeah. We'll be working on Christmas next year.
My first Christmas show.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
You get Santa hat and everything.
I wouldn't mind. In all seriousness, if I got to work, I'll work.
I'm with it.
There's been some little chirping about working the day after Christmas. You know what I think?
Yeah.
Here's what I think. Man, this is our job. We sit down and talk to our friends about stuff. I'm just not going to complain about that.
People watch us do it.
I sit down and I talk to my friends about stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not going to complain about that. So if we get a Christmas day and somebody says we're working on Christmas, I'll be right here.
We'll be here.
I'm ready to do it.
FedEx Forum, NBA. We better meet us here next year.
We might have just ruined our next Christmas, by the way.
Like, you know what?
Maybe we shouldn't be volunteering ourselves for this. Maybe we should wait for them to come to us. I'm just saying I consider myself lucky to be able to. I saw a quote from somebody the other day that said, I like this quote. Somebody said, somebody looked at him and said, do you have to work? Do you have to go to work today? And you know what the person said? I get to go to work today.
Ooh, that's a bar.
I like that.
That's a bar.
I like that. So that's what I said to myself when I woke up this morning.
I get to go to work today.
Actually, I said to myself
in Park right.
Well, when I woke up this morning, I said, God, what time is it? Because I didn't set an alarm. I forgot. Kids aren't in school.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I hope I hadn't messed this up. And I looked at it was like 8:10. I was like, oh, I'm cool. I'm cool. 8:10's no problem. So that's the first thing I thought. Yeah. But the second thing I thought was, I get to go to work today.
Let's go to work today.
Let's go. Let's do it. Back to the NBA. Okay. I don't think you have to get off Christmas. You don't have to run from the NFL every chance you get. But your Christmas Day thing ain't a thing anymore.
Yeah, no. You gotta find a way to put matchups on Christmas that people care about, right?
Well, I don't know what you can do that's gonna stop the NFL.
Oh, no.
As long as Patrick Mahomes is on TV opposite of you, you got a problem. As long as Beyonce's on TV opposite you got a problem.
Yeah.
I think you and I could sit down and make the best matchups ever, and you still got a problem now that the NFL has come in and stepped on you. But if I were the NBA, I would genuinely look at moving some of this stuff to, okay, if they're going to take Christmas Day, shit, let's go take Christmas Eve.
Yeah, let's do 2 games here, 2 games there. Also, NFL also put the cheat code in, GP. They put the cheat code in. We're going to put this thing on Netflix.
Yeah.
So you know what you can't do?
Can't flip back and forth.
You can't flip back and forth.
Right. Well, here's the honest to God truth. Like, normally, I would, for a big sports day, on a normal day, I would be in a room with multiple screens, and it would be fine. I'd have Chiefs on here, and I'd have the basketball game on here, and I'd have, we're fine.
Yep.
But yesterday was one of these weird days. We just sort of, we laid around all day in bed.
Yeah.
Like, we just got up, did Santa Claus, and it was like, all right, looks like the kids are on their Oculuses. Like, you
What are
wanna,
we gonna do?
let's watch the Chiefs game. So we just turned on the Chiefs game, and then in our bedroom, we only have one screen. I ain't the type just going to lay there with my phone on a basketball game in the bed. And so we had to pick. And I think most Americans do pick.
Exactly.
I don't have to pick normally. But in this moment, I had to pick. It was like we were going to watch one thing on this one TV in this room. And we were picking football.
Netflix.
Yeah, we did.
Because guess what? When you had to try to get to the basketball game, you're like, I got to close this app.
It never even occurred to me to think about trying to get to the basketball game.
Well, I'm here to tell you, GP, you did not miss. Well, you missed Wemby.
No, Wemby was amazing.
You missed Deck the Halls. That thing.
I don't know that thing.
That thing was weird. I watched a little bit of it.
What was that?
It was, oh boy.
I don't know what you're talking about.
ESPN did this broadcast where they have Disney characters playing basketball. So you had Goofy as Karl Anthony Towns.
That makes sense.
You had Mickey Mouse as Chris Paul.
Yeah, I can see that.
I think Daffy Duck was somebody.
He should be.
But it was, I would just say this. If you were on 100 milligrams yesterday or more, you probably had a great afternoon.
Okay.
Because watching that sober, I was confused as hell.
Yeah. Well, sometimes you just, you got to get lifted a little bit.
But if you were lifted, that was probably the greatest basketball game broadcast.
Sometimes things don't make sense till you get lifted a little bit.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying?
Hey, shout out to the Deck the Halls broadcast. Shout out to everybody that watched the lifted. I think those broadcasts they're good because they're like kind of unique, and they were like for the kids, right?
There's clearly something to it. CBS does it with Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
Here's Netflix doing it. Whatever.
Yeah.
Like, there's clearly smarter people than us have determined this is worth doing.
Yeah.
So that we're gonna do it, but it ain't for me. I don't think. I don't think it's for me.
It's probably run its course.
I don't think it's for me.
You're not gonna sit there and watch Mickey ice a pick and roll.
I mean. Maybe. You got to give it to me at the right time of the day. That ain't something I'm willing. That ain't something I probably want to watch at 10 in the morning. But
you're trying to watch Goofy
10 at night, I might dive in.
Slam dunk on somebody.
You making it sound interesting.
I see exactly.
I wasn't interested 5 seconds ago, but the way you're describing it now makes me go, maybe I should check this out.
Goofy jumping over Pluto to dunk the ball. Come on, GP. Tap in.
I wish I would have known. I wish I'd have known yesterday what I know today.
Right.
Okay.
That's what I'm here for.
You go to Christmas Eve. Most people are working half days. You can't even go to, Walmart after a certain time on Christmas Eve.
Oh boy. Battle Royale.
Woo.
Oh boy.
It's wild over there.
Shout out to all y'all people though, man, that's working at these stores, GP.
God bless
I saw
you.
a Battle Royale at the Tanger Outlet. GP.
Like it got
it got spooky in the Nike store. I almost saw 2 old ladies battling it out in the Nike store.
Well, I'd rather see that than 2 young dudes.
Sure. Like this is,
I feel like there's a limit to what 2 old ladies can do to each other.
They were about to scrap.
Do you see my buddy running into Walgreens in Cordova?
Oh, with the straps? Yeah. Yeah.
He ran in like this.
Yeah, he's wilding.
In Walgreens.
You can't do that at Walgreens.
Bro,
great establishment.
Just
man.
punch in your Walgreens number, exactly. get you some discounts, and get you a 7-foot long receipt and get out of there.
Yeah, bro. We don't need to come in with 2 straps, man, like the Reservoir Dogs or something.
Bro, I'm just trying to get some mouthwash.
That's all I want. What would you? Okay, how about this? I'm gonna ask you this question: if you were just minding your business in that Walgreens, getting your toothpaste, and somebody comes in with 2 straps, what are you doing?
I'm hiding behind whatever I can hide behind.
Okay.
Like I'm running to the pharmacy. I'm diving into the pharmacy. Diving through the pharmacy, picking up some prescription drugs and getting out of there. And I'm about to have a hell of a night watching Goofy dunk on Mickey Mouse. All right? I know what I'm doing.
I'm with it.
You come into Walgreens with 2.
You can't come in with 2
I'm jumping
straps.
in the pharmacy being like, look over there, there's a shooter. All the pharmacists are like, what? I'm grabbing the prescription drugs and we partying today.
There you go. I'm with it. Hey, man.
No, that's not true. I'm against prescription drugs. They're bad for you.
They are.
They'll take you down a bad path.
Yeah, we don't need that.
No,
you know that? Have you seen the guy, Dave Blunt?
I don't know him.
I gotta put you on game at the break. This is God.
This is stuff Bennett can't do.
Yeah. Put you on game. Yeah.
Bennett ain't never gonna do this.
He's trying to put you on game. His name is Dave Blunt. He's about 500 pounds, GP.
Oh, is this my guy?
The viral guy.
I can't put down. yeah, I do know him.
I can't put down the cup. I can't put down the cup. Apparently, he's not putting down the cup because he realized the prescription drugs are gonna kill him.
Yeah, I seen him. He looks like he's not got much time left.
He looks like a shit. A piece of like a actual shit.
He was on oxygen.
Yes.
Rapping.
Yes, on the stage with no shirt.
I mean, my buddy was on oxygen. He was carrying around an oxygen tank rapping. I mean,
that's what they could do to you, GP.
You got to be careful.
You got to watch out, man.
That clip. The first time I ever saw that clip, I had to see it again.
Yeah, me too.
And then see it again. I was like, what is he saying? He was saying a lot of stuff. I mean, he packed a lot of stuff in that verse.
He said a lot of things.
He said a lot of stuff in that one verse, man.
So, kids, don't Google Dave Blunt's.
No, don't do that.
Don't do that, but stay away from drugs, like GP said.
Yeah, stay away from drugs, or at least those drugs.
Yeah.
Let's just start. Let's just start there.
A new DARE campaign. DARE campaign.
Stay away from those.
Yes.
And we'll talk to you about the others when we need to talk to you about the others.
Yeah.
But for now, just stay away from those.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, the NBA's got to figure out the Christmas Day stuff. I think that's what we were trying to say.
Yeah, that's the biggest point about this.
That's what we were trying to say.
Stay away from it.
We come back. Oh, we'll turn our attention to Beyonce.
Let's go.
She won the internet yesterday.
Queen Bee.
Everybody loves Beyonce, except, maybe 3 or 4 dudes who look exactly like me out there. Them guys always got a problem about something. But, for the rest of us, we were cool. We loved it.
We call those virgins.
I can't speak to that. That's none of my business. We'll talk Beyonce next. Gary Parrish Show presented by Ortho Sound.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing compares to catching your Grizzlies IRL. And that all starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight. Put that jersey collection to use for the next game and get Grizzlies tickets at Ticketmaster. Whether they're here at FedEx Forum or on the road, Ticketmaster's got your back when it comes to scoring tickets. And there's no better brag than saying you saw it live.
Grizz Nation, it's time to send Ja, Sharon, and Dez to the 2025 All-Star Game.
Oh! What did we just see, partner?
Take three! Bane for 3. Bingo! This man Bane heating it up. Blocked by Sharon!
Most versatile power forward in the game today.
Head to NBA.com/vote, the NBA app, or simply use the QR code on the screen to send your Grizzlies to the All-Star Game today.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans, want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you during the Grizzlies 2024-2025 season? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Orthopedic injuries can be unpredictable, unforeseen, and unscheduled, and Ortho South understands this better than anyone. Since your injuries don't make appointments, you don't need to either. that's because Ortho South welcomes walk-ins during the weekdays in the evenings and even on Saturdays. So next time an unforeseen injury makes an unscheduled appearance in your life, visit orthosouth.org to find your nearest urgent care location. Just walk in, and Ortho South will take care of everything, especially you. Learn more at orthosouth.org. That's orthosouth at orthosouth.org. Now, I got 5 more things you need to know. Beyonce did do, that was nice. Yeah. Beyonce did do the halftime show at the Ravens-Texans game yesterday. As expected, it was on Netflix. I don't know that we knew what to expect other than when it's Beyonce, you can pretty reasonably expect something great. They made it like a Super Bowl halftime show. Yes. The production, the investment, I mean, they spent millions of dollars to make that happen, in addition to whatever they had to pay Beyonce to make this happen. And then she delivered.
Like she always does.
Like she always does.
There's never been a moment, GP, where I said, you know what? I didn't appreciate that Beyonce performance. As someone who's never, I admitted this yesterday, I've never seeked out a Beyonce album. I've never seeked out a Beyonce song.
Not even Lemonade?
Not even. But when you play it, I know it word for word.
Of course.
And I haven't tapped into Cowboy Carter.
I see.
I haven't tapped in.
I see what's going on.
I haven't tapped in.
I get it.
But to see the glorious Beyonce on my screen on Christmas Day.
She's glorious.
Glorious. It was a moment, man. I watched it on mute.
We throw around, well, that's not nice. That's not, you're that anti-Cowboy Carter?
No, I'm joking with that. I don't watch it on mute.
Talk to me about Cowboy Carter. What's going on there with you?
I just never tapped in.
Just explain that to me.
It
feels a little prejudiced.
No. I mess with Luke Combs. You know what I'm saying? That's my dog.
Luke Combs is your dog. Okay, that's fine.
Luke Bryan, I know him.
You know all the Lukes. We got too many Lukes and too many Bryans. There's like a Luke Bryan and a Zach Bryan and a Luke Combs. There's a lot of Lukes and Bryans.
What's my dog? Hootie the Blowfish. What's his name? What's his name?
And I've like met that guy. Yeah, I know. What is that dude's name?
Darius Rucker.
Darius Rucker. How could I not think of him? He's a wild fella.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, see, I don't want to dive into that world.
He's a wild fella.
Like, we're talking about RG3 wild, or are we talking about?
Not RG3 wild, I don't think. He's just a wild fella. He just got story. I got Darius Rucker stories if you want to hear them.
I'm here all day,
Not
bro.
for the microphone.
Not for the microphone.
Not for the microphone.
But I'll say this. I don't know what it is. I wasn't tapped into the Cowboy Carter as much as but I did. When somebody said Beyonce's performing at halftime, you know what I did? And then I might be a perfect case study.
Okay.
I listened to Cowboy Carter, but when you said Beyonce's performing at halftime, butt was in seat.
Okay.
Drink was in hand.
Yep.
Haas was on TV.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right, but you muted it.
No, for the beginning, yes. And then I turned it on. I was like, oh, yeah, she looks great.
She does look great.
She looks great.
We throw around the term GOAT so often these days. Like, everybody's a GOAT. And, like, you know, and then we argue about how many GOATs there could be, which runs counter to, like, the idea of a GOAT. You know, like famously in the year 2024, one of the most famous lyrics in any song is 3 goats left, right? Well, you shouldn't have 3 goats.
Yeah.
It'd be 1 goat.
Yeah.
She is genuinely the GOAT.
She is a GOAT.
She is the greatest performer living today and has been that for a while. I said this a million years ago, it felt like. Obviously joking, but meaning we would never be disappointed. She could do every Super Bowl halftime show.
I'm with it.
And she would be awesome every time. Nobody can do that. Nobody is better at that than her, period.
No,
there are other ones who are great. I think Kendrick will be great at the Super Bowl. If you are skeptical, just go to YouTube and Kendrick Lamar, Grammy performance, Kendrick Lamar. Like, go look at his big television performances. They're all artistic and big and amazing.
Yep.
He'll be great. There are other people who are great. She's the greatest. She's the best at that.
Yes.
She is the best at that. And she could have scrapped the whole Cowboy Carter theme and just done a different Beyonce thing, and it would have hit the exact same way. You could have said, Beyonce, plan that performance, and then say, okay, now, but don't do that. Go, plan another one. And the other one would be just as
Phenomenal.
good. Phenomenal.
She did a great job. Are you a Cowboy Carter fan? Listen to it. No.
Of course.
I do. Somebody told me there's a lot of songs on the album, though. That's what
it's a lot. But it's a lot of, like skits and little stuff in there.
So it's not all 27.
However many numbers you see on that thing, it ain't that many songs.
Okay, that makes
all
me
right,
feel
there's
better.
little stuff in between. I did notice this. Like, I love Beyonce. I
I actually do like listen, not like all, like I'm not driving home listening to Lemonade today. Like I'm not trying to kill myself.
Crazy.
Yeah, I'm not trying to die. You know, I'm not trying to. But like
surfboard.
Yeah,
you in the car singing surfboard.
No. But when Lemonade comes out, I do listen to it and I consume it and I enjoy it. And she's Cowboy Carter. I liked it. There are great songs on there. I did think it just kind of disappeared.
It did.
It just kind of. It was like Beyonce's got this album coming out and it's going to be she won't call it a country album, but most people do.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, oh, wow, this is amazing. And then it was just gone. It just disappeared. It felt like to me.
Yeah, it did.
And maybe because she didn't tour on it, maybe because the audience she was trying, or maybe she wasn't trying. I don't want to put words in Beyonce's mouth, but there was an audience that she was trying to. The whole thing stemmed from she went to the Country Music Awards and didn't feel like she was welcome.
Yes.
So she was like, all right, well, I am country. I'm from Texas. Like,
I'm from Houston.
You know, I might not look like you, but I am country.
Mm-hmm.
All right? So I'm going to do this album.
I got Shabuzi with me.
Right.
Y'all love Shabuzi.
Yeah, I know y'all love this.
Y'all love this guy.
Yeah, I know that.
He did a hockey opener. He did the NBA Cup. Y'all love him.
Man, there ain't nothing. Shabuzi is.
He's not saying no to nothing.
Well, he's perfect for a lot of. He serves a lot of people's purposes.
100%.
He serves a lot of people's purposes. She went to the CMAs and she didn't feel welcome. And then that sort of, according to her, like this is where this album comes from over years and years and years. And then they didn't really embrace the album either.
Nah, I didn't. It said records, but they didn't really embrace the albums. The people that she was directing it toward didn't embrace the album.
They just sort of rejected it out of hand.
Yep.
And like she ain't, I think the CMA nominations came out. She got a bunch of Grammy nominations and not many from Nashville. And so I don't know if that played a role in it. I don't really know why. It just felt like Cowboy Carter was this big thing and then it was just gone. Yeah. Maybe it's because she didn't tour immediately.
That's probably what it
after
was.
It, right?
The touring kind of adds some longevity to albums, right? You have a guy drop an album like K-Dot, have an album, and then he announced the tour right after. Right. So you're like, okay, it's going to kind of refurbish the album a little bit. That's probably what it was. But yesterday was a moment where it might have put it in front of people like me for the first time. Like,
go back and give it
the Cowboy Carter. Hold on, let me go.
I'm sure if you looked at streaming numbers today, Cowboy Carter would jump up
1,000%.
today. So people are just like, oh, I like that song.
Exactly.
Or I didn't know it sounded like that.
Exactly.
Or I just liked this. Who is maybe? I don't know if there's anybody out there.
Shabuzi.
I love Shabuzi. So let's go check out the Shabuzi song if nothing else. But I just thought she was terrific. She never lets you down.
Like if there was an angel, Like I compared it to like the opening scene when she was walking in the all white. With everybody, I was like, it's like an angel walking in like from heaven, right?
She is like not normal.
No, she's not.
Just the presence about her, the way people feel just in her presence and freak out in her presence. She's like, it's gonna sound stupid.
People are like, yo, they really glazing Beyonce, but hey, she's the queen for a reason, dog.
She is married to a man who some people call the greatest rapper of all time, and she dwarfs him in like celebrity. Like Jay likes to talk about selling out stadiums. She sells out the stadium
easy by herself.
Beyonce could sell out AT&T Stadium with her husband or without him.
Yep, you need her.
Yes, yes. I've been to a stadium to see Jay and Beyonce. If we would have just gone to, you ready for this? I've only ever seen Beyonce in a stadium. I've seen Jay in arenas.
There you go.
I never seen Beyonce in an arena.
There you go.
And the only time I seen Jay in a stadium was when he was with Beyonce.
There you go.
She's just a monster.
Yeah, man.
And like still, when people disappear from the public eye for a little while, you just, and she's aging. We all get older. And
let's see, how old is Beyonce?
Like you just wonder, like, is this, when does she, give me a name, give me a number.
What do you think? After looking at her last night, seeing her perform last night, what do you think?
Like, I'm like in that 40-ish range.
In the 40-ish range,
yeah. Is she 41?
43. Pascal Siakam, 43.
43?
43. She looks a day over 25.
Okay, so but you start to go like, okay, this is a woman whose undeniable talents are just going to be lasting talents. She's the type she could sit down in a chair and sing and be amazing. She could do that. But part of Beyonce is is the performance. And you wonder, like, how long will she be able to do this at this level? And I don't know what people think. We do this with athletes all the time.
Yep.
How long is Patrick Mahomes going to be able to do this? How long is Aaron Rodgers going to be able to do this? How long is LeBron going to be able to do this? It's not crazy to think, how long is Beyonce going to be able to perform like this, right? It's not crazy.
At the age of 43.
Buddy, she can still do it. That's what we learned yesterday.
Boy.
You don't, if you sort of have forgotten who the greatest living performer is, that debate was ended yesterday. Yes. She was awesome, lived up to all expectations, and shouts to Netflix for making that happen. That wasn't cheap.
No, they paid a brick for that. I say shout out to Netflix too for making sure that streaming was perfect by the time that she got on that stage, buddy. Also, by the way, did you see this happen simultaneously, GP? You know, Beyonce, she took the stage, right, to try to bless us, right, with her presence.
Yep.
At the same time, you know what was going on ESPN and ABC? Stephen A. Smith and them were yelling about Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid.
See, I didn't see it, but I did see it on social media. Like, Beyonce's on one channel, and you're just fighting over here.
What do I want to watch?
Well, I think people have made the point over the past week in a couple of different ways about ESPN going so talk-heavy and debate-heavy that ESPN is spending billions of dollars on sports properties and then shitting on them. College football playoff, if you watched it last week, all they did was just shit on it the whole time.
Yep.
All right? And the NBA, I think TNT does this too with the NBA. They're just bad-mouthing it all the time. I made this point last week. It was like the NBA Cup and the Houston Rockets make the whatever they made. You know, they made it somewhere.
Yeah, they made it somewhere. Vegas, I think they made the Vegas.
Yeah, and then you immediately go to the studio, and Charles Barkley's like, the Rockets don't know how to play basketball. Well, okay, so imagine I'm a consumer, and I'm like, okay, the Rockets just won, and I guess they've got a good record, and now they're going to Las Vegas, and the NBA is telling me this is supposed to be a big deal, and so I guess this is a big deal. And then immediately, the biggest voice in the NBA says they suck.
Yeah, they're not very good.
They don't even know how to play.
Yeah.
I can't even watch them.
Oh.
Like, imagine if every day we came here, and it was just like, I don't know why anybody would go to a Grizzlies game. Like, that's a crazy thing to do.
Sound like people in the spaces.
That's a crazy thing to do. That'd be a wild thing to do.
Yeah.
To take money from an NBA franchise and then publicly say, I don't know why anybody would go. But they do it all the time.
Yeah.
ESPN, with the NBA, they get it from all angles. It's just everybody's always saying this doesn't matter and whatever. But college football playoffs, same thing. It was, and so there you go.
Herbstreit and Shannon Sharp just fighting each other.
They're just fighting about, instead of celebrating the college football playoff and these amazing stories that exist, you're just fighting with each other. And so there's another example of it. On one channel, for lack of a better term, channel, but you get the point. Yeah. One place, you've got Beyonce. And the other place is just dudes over here yelling at each other about the Sixers. Like, what are we doing?
What are we choosing?
Well, yeah, I'm going to watch Beyonce dance, and I'll let these two guys.
You just fight.
You guys can keep fighting if you want to. I'm gonna be over here with Beyonce. Yeah. So she was great. She's the GOAT. And I'm happy that Netflix invested enough to make that happen because it made Christmas Day even better than it otherwise would have been. Merry Christmas. Lamar, I got to put Lamar Jackson in here for you. You know,
my dog.
You know,
good looks.
I let Bennett pick one of the stories for 5 more things every day. I didn't want to put that responsibility on you because I know you got other things to do. I'm just happy you're sitting here with me right now.
Of course.
Day after Christmas. But I knew I could. I can't let you. I didn't want you to have to pick one. I didn't want to put extra responsibility. But I thought I should get into the mind of a Devin Walker. Mm-hmm. At least for a moment, and try to figure out what would he like to talk about.
Dave Blunts.
And well, that was obvious. But Lamar Jackson, he's a record setter.
Yeah.
Michael Vick is now number 2 all-time rushing yards by a quarterback in the NFL. Lamar Jackson is the new leader. Celebrate it if you want to.
My guy, man. Look, I've been trying to tell people GP for a long time. Man.
I know you have.
People try to tell him he's not a quarterback for a long time. They tried to make him a receiver when he came out the draft.
That's right.
He's not. He's only an athlete. He can only do this. He can't do that. 2-time MVP.
That's right.
He's having the best season of his career this year.
That's right. And did to the Texans yesterday. Go look at what Josh Allen did to the Texans. Not that.
Not that.
Not that.
You can say, GP, that Beyonce was in the building. So you give you a little bit of extra added boost. You know, you can't have a shitty game in front of the Queen. You know what I'm saying?
I wouldn't.
Yeah, the Texans did.
Yes.
They didn't score a touchdown.
Yeah, but if I were Lamar Jackson, I wouldn't. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Exactly. He even told Harbaugh, I'm going out there to watch the performance, Harbaugh. Right. I don't care what you say.
And I don't know that he did. In fact, I doubt that he did. Yeah. But, like, if you're Jim Harbaugh John Harbaugh, and he wants to. It's like you just be like, yo, man, do what you want to do.
Do what you want to do.
Yeah.
My boy put on a show on Netflix. He's been having a hell of a season. I said Josh Allen on our show was the MVP, I think, a couple weeks ago. But I think now I'm back on the right side. Look at that. He said I was jogging, GP. That's jogging.
That's 21.25 miles per hour. That is the top speed he hit, and that is the fastest of his career. He just ran faster than he's ever been recorded running yesterday at the age of 27.
But you're jogging. That's what I'm saying. That's why when people try to slander Lamar, I think it comes from a weird place.
I know what place it comes from.
You know what place it comes from. But guess what, though? When it comes from a weird place, guess what I do? I hit him with stats, GP. Perfect passer rating multiple times this year. Oh, you got the stats? You got numbers?
No, I just was listening. I was just enjoying you.
Perfect passer rating multiple times this year.
Yeah.
Multiple games with 4 touchdown passes this year.
That's right.
He's a winner.
Yep.
I think he has 35 touchdowns, maybe 4 or 5 picks. My dog, man, put on a show yesterday. Lamar Jackson is your MVP. Crown him like we crown Cream B. I'm gonna crown Lamar.
Fine with it.
And I think the biggest thing he did yesterday, G. I don't think. Did you see this at the end of the broadcast? By the way, that photo's amazing. Shout out to a photographer. From a photographer himself.
Yeah, you recognize, you see things that I can't see because you're a photographer.
You probably think that's blurry, but
I can't see that.
For me, that's
I don't see what you're seeing.
That's an amazing photo in the
it's like, to me,
world.
I don't see what you're seeing, but I know you as a photographer, you see the art in
You're
that.
probably like, yo, why is that blurry, right?
I'm like, your camera not work well?
Exactly.
But you see, because that's because you're an artist with a photography background, and I'm not as educated on it as you.
Yeah, so
I trust you on this.
The biggest part of it, did you see the end at the interview at the end? There was a moment.
I think I was on the way to the movies at that point.
Okay, there was a moment at the end. Lamar and Derrick Henry are celebrating their win. They're talking to the Netflix reporter. I forgot her name.
Jamie Erdahl.
Jamie Erdahl. Shout out to her.
My friend Jamie Erdahl.
Jamie Erdahl says,
my former coworker Jamie Erdahl.
Shout out to her. She asked Lamar, "Hey, you want to take a piece of this cake?" And she hands it to him. And Lamar's like, nah, I'm gonna eat my dinner first before the dessert.
They were pushing that cake on everybody yesterday. They pushing it on Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce.
And if you're from my community, you know, Grandma once told you, GP.
Okay.
You don't eat food from everybody.
Is that true?
Grandma, we were taught that at a young age.
Who would you accept food from me?
I think I would accept food from you.
Who would you not accept food from?
I'm not saying names.
Darnell?
I'll accept food from Darnell.
Okay.
These are good people.
Okay. Would you accept food from Luke?
Luke's good people. Yeah, we accept food from
So
him.
who would you not accept food from?
I can't say names. I don't want any.
Bennett. It's probably Bennett.
Yeah, it might be a little questionable, but Bennett offered me some cake in my hand, like raw.
I can see that.
Like with his hand.
I don't know that I would
I don't
do
know
that.
But to all my people in my community, they know.
Okay. My grandma never told me that.
She never told you that?
I don't think so.
You don't eat at everybody's crib. But yesterday was a moment, Lamar and
You will
Derrick
go
Henry-
to somebody's crib and not eat.
Oh, for sure. Wow. Oh, like it was like one of those moments where that coworker asked you hey, I got some sweet treats. You want some? And Lamar did the thing I do. I got to eat my dinner first.
I didn't know this was happening.
It's 3 p.m. I got to eat my dinner first.
I'll eat at anybody's house.
You don't.
I do. If I'm at your house and you offer me
eat
something.
at everybody's house?
If I'm hungry and you offer it?
No.
I don't even know I'm not supposed to.
No, GP. You can't eat at everybody's crib.
What have I been doing my whole life?
You gotta. No.
I'm not coming to your crib to eat. I'm not expecting it, but if I come to your crib and you're like,
you want
hey,
this?
GP, I got some wings. It never occurs to me to go, no, I can't eat at your crib.
Have you ever eaten at somebody's crib and the food wasn't good?
Well, of course.
How do you react?
I spit it out.
You do?
Yes. I'll spit food out. You don't spit food out sometimes?
No.
Oh, I'll spit a food out. You've never spit food?
Like a toddler?
Yeah, like a toddler. Like I did this yesterday. I took a bite of something. The meal was amazing. And just in case this gets back to anybody, I want to be clear that the meal was amazing yesterday. All right? Just in case this gets back.
Yeah.
The meal was amazing.
Yeah.
I was fortunate that somebody took the time to prepare it for me and my family. But I took a bite of something. I was like, I'll try this.
Yeah.
And I went, I swear this is honest. I went.
It spit it right out.
Well, right into I walked to the garbage can. I did it properly. I mean, I didn't spit it in the floor.
That's insane.
You think it's insane to spit food into a garbage can when you don't like the way it tastes?
You're supposed, Chief, you got to do it respectfully. This is one of the things Grandma taught me. See,
maybe I needed your grandma.
grandma.
Maybe is your grandmother still with us?
Yeah, she is.
Man.
Well, one of them is.
Okay, well,
they both taught me lessons.
Can you put us in a group text?
I probably can. She also taught me you don't believe fat meat greasy. You know what that means?
No.
You never heard that?
What?
You don't believe fat meat greasy.
I don't even know what you're saying right now.
GP, you got to hang out with me, man.
I want to.
You got to hang out with me. So Grandma,
I would like to. I'm tired of most of my friends anyway.
If you don't like food, GP, Grandma taught you, look, you got to get the napkin, right?
Uh-huh.
Got to do a little, wipe it off.
Yeah.
But then you get another plate. You put it on top of the plate, GP.
But now you're wasting plates.
You're wasting plates, but this is efficient, though. You go to the trash can.
I don't know many grandmas who want to waste plates.
You flip it over and put it face down in the trash.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah, look, you spit in the trash can.
I hocked two at that thing.
You hocked two at that. What was it?
It was a chicken wing.
Oh, it was bad?
It was lemon pepper, and I didn't like it.
Oh, no.
It wasn't great. I don't know.
Cooking shitty lemon pepper
I can't
wings.
talk about it. I can't talk about it.
Okay.
Everything else was great.
Okay.
It was just the one thing, and I like chicken wings.
Except for this lemon pepper wing.
It wasn't something right. Damn. Something wasn't right. It wasn't it's nobody's fault. It's not a big deal.
Okay.
I don't mean to imply it's a big deal. Yeah. But I just spit right into the ground.
So if y'all see GP go to the trash can at y'all's crib, that means y'all's food was trash.
All right, I should be back. But like, it wasn't like I was sitting down properly at a table having a meal, and then I just I was. Just like always, I was over here by myself.
Yeah, and you just hit
trying to sneak a chicken wing.
And you just did like a little.
Yeah, I was I'm kind of I was just over there sneaking off, trying to get one more bite of something.
So that bite wasn't that good. Mm-mm. And is it trash can overface or just like spit in trash can?
It was one of those. It had like you could step on it and it opens up. So I stepped on it. I opened its mouth. I spit in its mouth. I spit in the mouth of the garbage can.
The bird with the trash can. Hey man, no. Look, I got to teach you some things, JP. Though, look,
you do.
Look, man, that's what I'm here for.
Mike just taught me how to park. If you could teach me how to dispose of food I don't like, I'd be a new person.
Or properly read somebody to tell they can't cook food.
You can do that?
Come on, man.
Do you think I can cook food? If you look at me,
no chance. No chance.
I can actually cook wings. Okay.
Wings?
Pretty good. Like not bad. People compliment me on it.
Really?
And people don't compliment me on anything.
I like your hoodie.
Thank you. That's sweet. That's sweet. But like people, I'm not getting a lot of compliments out there. People aren't like, "Oh man, you look great today." Nobody really says that to me. They say that to people who look great.
Yeah.
Right? I don't get a lot of compliments.
Beyonce probably gets that often, right?
Right. Everybody's like, "Man, Beyonce looks amazing." Yeah. Like sometimes I'm on TV. I like she was on TV yesterday, and I went and did a Twitter search on Beyonce, and I was like, she's amazing. Yeah. Sometimes I'm on TV, I'll go do a Twitter search for me, and it's just like, what's this fat guy? Looks like a penis. That's all I get. It's like, he looks like a penis. Why is he on TV?
Why is his penis talking on my TV?
I don't get many compliments.
I'm not high right now. Why is his penis talking?
I don't get a lot of compliments. Yeah. All right?
Yeah.
But sometimes people will say, those are good wings, GP.
Really? Are you okay?
Oh, yeah.
Sauce it?
Pecan rub.
Ooh.
Devin, you're gonna have to come.
Yeah,
you're gonna have to come let me teach. We can trade off.
We'll trade off.
You teach me some stuff. I'll teach you some stuff.
I'll bring my grandma.
Right.
You bring the wings.
Yeah. We'll put on Cowboy Carter.
Have a party, bro.
God,
I'm with it. Shout out Lamar Jackson.
Shout out to Lamar Jackson. He's a record setter. All right, let's go to the next one.
Number 3.
Let's see how many times in a row we can start talking about something and end up somewhere completely.
No, I'm with it.
Completely opposite. The Chiefs have secured the number 1 seed in the AFC playoff. Remember, it was just a few days ago they were like, Patrick Mahomes has a hurt ankle. He might never play again, and he never stopped playing. He just came back and played another game, and they're 15-1. Makes sense of this for me.
Mm-hmm.
The Kansas City Chiefs have Patrick Mahomes.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me if I say anything that's wrong. They have Patrick Mahomes. They have Travis Kelce. They have Andy Reid.
Mm-hmm.
They're the back-to-back Super Bowl champs.
Facts. Shout out John Roser.
They're 15-1, and yet not the Super Bowl favorites. The Detroit Lions are the favorites to win the Super Bowl. Right now, according to FanDuel Sportsbook, make every moment more. Why is that? I know there's analytics and stuff. I get it.
Yeah.
But like it just seems like I bet you the casual football fan who don't know nothing about nothing would be surprised to know there is a team expected to win the Super Bowl, and it is not the 15-1 back-to-back champs with Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and Andy Reid.
Yeah, I don't know why.
In what other sport would this happen?
None.
Like if Steph Curry and the Warriors had won 2 straight titles, and at the very end of the next regular season, as they're going for a three-peat, they've got the best record in the NBA again.
Yep.
They would be the favorites to win the title.
I mean, shit, we open every season in the NBA saying, oh, wait, can LeBron do it one more time? Yeah. Can Steph do it one more time? So in the NBA, it happened, it's interesting, because we've seen Patrick Mahomes do it. As someone who, my guy Lamar, who we talked about before, is going to have to run into, every time I see 15, I get a little scared.
I just think that guy's going to beat you. And there will come a time when he won't.
Yes.
And it might be, against Buffalo in the AFC title game, or earlier than that.
Hopefully it's Baltimore.
It could be in the Super. It could be the Lions, right? Eventually, he is not going to be able to, quote, get the job done. All right? But, man, I'm going to assume he is until he doesn't.
It's like the Alabama thing, right?
Yeah,
like Alabama thing a couple years ago.
It was just like, it's, you know.
You don't bet against Alabama.
Well, I remember Vernon told me that one time. And I think it was Ohio State's got a third-string quarterback, and Nick Saban is on the other side. And Vernon got me real gassed up. I was like, all right, let's bet everything we own on it then. And I think that's when Cardell Jones happened.
Oh, 12 gauge got him. Shout out 12 gauge, man, my guy.
That was.
That's the only time that maybe happened, though, right? Like other than that, like you don't bet against them.
Yeah, that was one where it was like, it's Nick. This is exactly the way it was framed for me.
Yeah,
it's Nick Saban against a third string quarterback. I was like, let's go.
But then 12 gauge happened.
So you can set up those types of things. It's Patrick Mahomes against a whatever. It's Patrick Mahomes against a franchise that's never done it. It's Patrick Mahomes against, and eventually, like, he's not going to come through.
Yeah, but until then,
I'm just going to believe that he is.
I'll take.
I'm going to believe Beyonce's next public performance is going to be amazing until I see her not do it.
Exactly.
Right. So if you hear Beyonce's doing the next Super Bowl, and you say, GP, how you think it's going to be? I guess it's going to be great because every time I see her, she's great. So I guess it's going to be great. I'm at the same place with the Chiefs. I know that they're not blowing people out. I know there's a luck factor to it.
They call it the black magic, by the way.
A lot of close, whatever they call it, it's fine. But they just keep winning, and I think there's some substance to that. You know, figuring out how to win almost every game you play, regardless of whether you're playing well or not, it's clicking or not, you're hurt or not, you figure out how to win the game. All right, the game's up for grabs. Let's go grab it. Some analytically minded people will tell you, that's the luck thing. There's just these things can go different ways, and they do go different ways, and I'm not going to argue with them, but I do not chalk it up simply as that. I think there's something about people, and this is true in all sports. I think there's something mentally that you're either built for that moment, you're comfortable in that moment, or you're not.
Yep.
Hey, the game is tied, and I've got to march us down the field to win this. Patrick Mahomes is very comfortable in that situation.
Yes. He probably relishes it. Like, he hates when a game's a blowout.
A lot of people are not comfortable in that.
He loves it.
There are people in all sports who run to that moment, and there are people who run from that moment. I, as a very mediocre athlete, was always run from that moment.
You run from the moment, guy.
I didn't like the pressure. I was willing to never be the hero, as long as I didn't ever have to be the dude who lost it.
The fall guy.
Yeah.
So you couldn't be a kicker, huh?
No, couldn't. In fact, when I was in high school, I was asked to be a kicker because I was a pretty good soccer player.
Yeah.
You know, like I could kick.
Yeah.
And
you the guy that can kick it.
I could go out there and you could. I couldn't do it today, I don't guess, but at that time when I was kicking, when I was playing soccer, you could hold me up. I could make field goals.
Okay.
And it was like, do you want to? Have you ever thought about kicking? And I had thought about it.
Yeah.
And then this is my next thought. I'm going to be put in a position at some point, and if I make it, people will be like, "Oh, we won." And he made it. But if I miss it,
it's your fault.
It's my fault. It's only my fault. And I don't want that on me, so I'll skip it. I never I never even pursued it because I'm the type. I'm weak-minded in that regard.
Yeah.
Golf, same type of thing. I'd rather, if me and Vernon are playing somebody, I'd rather him have the 6-foot putt. I'll take the 16-foot putt because we're supposed to miss that one.
Yeah.
But I'd rather you just have the 6-foot one because I don't want to feel like shit when I miss it.
I respect it. You set the bar low. I respect it.
Yeah, I set the bar low for myself. I don't believe in myself.
If you overachieve, you're like, you know what?
Yeah.
Good job.
I'm
man.
surprised when good things happen for me.
Look,
I don't believe in myself.
Look, you got a GP. Look, man, we got to get you to,
Yeah, I don't believe in myself.
We need people to gas you up a little bit,
I believe in myself.
Show what's your name on it, man. Come on.
I believe in myself in certain aspects of life. I'm just goofing around right now.
Yeah.
I believe in myself. I'm very confident in certain aspects, but like from a competition perspective,
you're like, I'm good.
I would rather. How about this? I'd rather take a close ball 4 and hope that it was ball 4
and not
than swing and miss at strike 3.
Wow.
That was my mindset. I'm weak-minded.
I don't say weak-minded.
I feel like I was, but I might be coming out of it. I'm just saying Patrick Mahomes isn't weak-minded.
He's the one that wants to put me up here, coach.
And that's where I break away. I depart from the analytics people when they say, it's just a luck. No, I think people are wired a certain way, and you're either comfortable in that situation or you're not comfortable in that situation. And this is true in all sports. There are shortstops who play high school baseball, and it's bottom of the last inning. bases loaded, you're up by 1, and there's shortstops who play baseball who are like, come on, hit it to me. Let's end this. Hit it to me. Come on. And there are other shortstops who are like, please, God,
this ball better not come my way. Yeah.
And guess what? When you start thinking that way, guess where it's coming? Right at you.
Yep.
Right at you.
And we got an error. You lose the game, and it's all your fault.
Patrick Mahomes' greatness is tied to his legs and his arm. His head is a big part of that because he's comfortable in those moments.
You add head and shoulders might appreciate that, by the way.
15-1, you're not just lucky. You're not in all these close games and you're winning almost all of them. You're not just lucky. There's something to that. I'll believe they're going to win the Super Bowl again until they don't.
Number 4.
So this is our last live show before the weekend, which means it's our last live show before Ole Miss visits FedEx Forum to play your Tigers.
Yeah.
In a Saturday game, non-league showdown, last big non-league game for the Tigers. I do think it's a big game.
I think it's a massive game, especially the way last week happened. Like you can't get beat by the whole state of Mississippi.
Get beat.
Like, we can't get owned by the entire state of Mississippi.
It's really just not great to have 2 Mississippi schools come into your building on back-to-back Saturdays and beat you.
Yeah.
And that's not to say anything dismissive of the Mississippi. The Mississippi schools are
great.
They're great. There's a story here to be written. I'm not going to do it because it's a complicated story. But the 2 prominent SEC Mississippi basketball programs, Ole Miss and Mississippi State, are both in this position right now because they were both willing to hire coaches who were fired for off-the-court issues involving women.
Ooh.
Chris Jans had an incident in his first head coaching job where he was literally fired for inappropriate behavior at a bar with a woman. And then everybody knows.
We know the story about good old Chris Beard.
So, like, it's questionable whether, and I like both of those men. I don't have to agree with everything they've done. People make mistakes. I've never shied away from talking about both of their mistakes. I've said what I had to say about it. But, like, if you can take that and set it aside, and maybe you can't. I understand. But if you can take that, I enjoy both of those people. I've known them both for a while, and I like them both. But it's questionable on some level whether Mississippi State should have done that. Although there was a job in between the firing and Mississippi State for Jans that didn't really exist for Chris Beard. He went straight from fired at Texas to the head coach at Ole Miss. I think that one was more controversial because it was so fresh. It was so fresh.
The wound was definitely open already.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, but like, if somebody asks, so how the Mississippi? Well, how are 2? Because we joke about the Allen College Basketball Podcast, like with Matt Norlander.
Yeah.
When UConn lost 3 straight games in Maui, he lives in Connecticut. I live in Mississippi. So I was like, how did my state get better at basketball than your state?
Hey, overnight, man.
And the answer to that question is quite literally, the 2 schools went out and hired coaches who had some baggage.
Yes.
That if they didn't have that baggage, they wouldn't be taking your jobs.
Oh, boy.
You could never hire Chris Beard.
No.
Maybe Jans, maybe. You could never hire Chris Beard unless what happened at Texas happened. And you might not be able to keep him if he keeps doing this thing because somebody else is going to say, well, Ole Miss put it aside. Why can't we? He's amazing because he is. So there's a story there to tell, but it's a complicated one to tell, and I don't know that I'm interested in.
That's not.
I don't know that I'm interested in doing it. I got other stories to tell. But huge game. I think just for the feeling of the fan base, like you don't want to have this start that you were so proud of, and then just sort of. Then lose back-to-back Saturdays at home to Mississippi schools. It's not devastating, but it doesn't feel good.
It puts reins on the parade a little bit, right? Because people were so high for a week ago. Me and Vernon were celebrating, and Rosie was like telling us to calm down, but like we're having a good time. But that Mississippi State loss tempered it a little bit because okay, Mississippi State's a good team, blah, 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 and the SEC, blah, blah, blah. But like you said, 2 weeks in a row, you can't, especially with the Ole Miss. You know what you're around it. You know how much Memphis and Ole Miss fans they clash.
Oh, they'll be walking up the steps at FedEx Forum talking about Tiger High. Like that's what you're going to be dealing with. Yeah. Oh, that's cute. But I thought this was what y'all were supposed to be good at.
Exactly.
I thought, like, we understand we beat the shit out of you in football all the time, and we beat your brains in baseball all the time. But I thought this was what y'all were supposed to be good at.
This is your sport.
This is bad. Y'all ain't even great at this anymore. Oh, that's cute, Tiger High. Yeah. That's what you get.
So are we gonna call this a must-win game?
No, just because it's technically not true.
Okay, I want to call it a must-win game.
You can if you want to. But it'd be really nice if you won it game.
Yeah.
You're 9-3 now. You lose it, you go to 9-4. You lose it, you're on a 2-game losing streak. You lose it, you just lost back-to-back games to Mississippi schools. You lose it, you probably fall further in the net. And I know there's some metrics that really hammer home the great start that Memphis is off to. Mm-hmm. One of them is their strength of record is 13th in the country. Their wins above bubble is 8th in the country. They have 7 wins inside the first 2 quadrants.
Okay.
And that is more than anybody in the country. Nobody has more. Nobody has as many. You know, Tennessee is great. Auburn is great. What I'm telling you is true. Nobody has more wins inside the first 2 quadrants right now than the University of Memphis.
Facts.
That's all good stuff.
Yep.
The bad stuff is the KenPom number is 42. The net is 46. 46 of the net? Guess who was 46 of the net last year on Selection Sunday? Oklahoma. Did not get in. 46 of the net puts you in a
weird spot, right?
Yes.
A little tweener spot.
It's
I
like
don't wanna be a tweener.
You can't feel safe there, and that's
Yeah.
where they're at right now. After this amazing start, that's where they're at right now.
Because even after this game, it doesn't help because you play all.
It's all junk.
AAC school. You play directions and food.
All you were doing is playing directions and food, and you're walking in landmines with no good stuff.
Yeah.
Just hey, we're gonna spend the next 2+ months walking through a field. There's a lot of landmines in here that could blow you up. There ain't nothing good out here for you.
Nothing.
You can walk the next 100 yards, the next week or 2, and not step on a landmine. And the best thing we'll be able to say about that is that you didn't step on a landmine. We won't be bragging about how great of a walk you just had.
Yep.
We're just going to say, well, they didn't step on a landmine.
You didn't blow yourself up.
You didn't blow yourself up this time, but Rice will be here tomorrow. Yeah. All right, and if you don't blow yourself up there, then Temple's coming to town.
Yeah, can't wait for North Texas to play here.
And then here comes South Florida.
Yeah.
Don't blow yourself up there. You got nothing but places to get blown up.
Yeah.
And nowhere or very few places to add what could be considered quality wins. Like I'm going through it right now. Once we get through with Ole Miss, there is currently not a quadrant 1 game on the schedule.
Good Lord.
You know?
So
right now Memphis has 3 quadrant 1 wins right now. And that's pretty good relative to the rest of the country.
Yeah.
It's not the best, but it's top 25 good. The 3 quadrant 1 wins. Do you realize they might finish the season with 3 quadrant 1 wins? It might already be done.
It's December 26th, and the end season ends in March.
Yeah, and
that's insane.
Yeah, and like those quadrant 1 wins that you already got, they require like UConn to remain good, Michigan State to remain good, Clemson to get good
Keep
again.
It going, yeah.
I mean, that 3 could turn into 2. Remember, it was 5. There was a moment where it was 5 quadrant 1 wins. It already flipped down to 3, and now you don't have more opportunities in front of you. So it's sort of a weird thing, and this is the problem with playing in this league.
Mm-hmm.
You get off to you schedule aggressively, you handle it pretty well up until now, we'll see, and you feel good about things a week ago, but if you don't win this game this weekend, you're probably slipping in the net. You've missed another opportunity to add a quality win, and then your opportunities at quality wins, specifically quad 1 wins, they're gone. They don't exist anymore. Based on current projections.
You've seen this team, the Ole Miss team. You saw them practice, right? Saw them work out everything. If you were to, and you watch a lot of college basketball, if you look, do you think they're better than that Mississippi State team? Because I watched the Mississippi State team and I'm like, hold on, bro. Hold on. Yeah. Why is this team so athletic? Why are they hitting so many threes?
I don't know if they're better. I know this, and I don't think Chris would mind me saying this, Chris Beard, but he thinks they're good. He thinks they're good. He never said better than Mississippi State.
And it's a reunion game with him and Tyrese Hunter, right?
Yes.
Tyrese, come on, man.
And he loves Tyrese Hunter.
Yeah.
Like he when last time I talked to Chris, it was after the Arkansas State loss, and Memphis came up somehow, and he was like, "They'll be fine." He's like, "I coach Tyrese. He's made of the right stuff. He will not let that go the wrong way." He's like, "He will not let that go the wrong way. He's too good of what he's made of, and too good of a basketball player. They're going to be fine." But Chris thinks his Ole Miss team. He's told me multiple times it reminds him of his second team at Texas Tech. And his second team at Texas Tech was very good. And I think lost in the tournament to the Villanova team that won the championship.
The one that was ridiculous, like the
Chris
juggernaut team.
Chris Beard has coached in a national championship game. And Chris Beard has been eliminated from the NCAA tournament, I believe, at least 2 and maybe more times than that, by the eventual national champion. Like, that's the only way you got him out of the bracket.
Yeah.
You had to have the best team to get him out of the bracket. Like, it's not crazy to think he would already have a national championship. They were in overtime of a title game.
Yeah.
He did unprecedented things at Little Rock, unprecedented things at Texas Tech, was going to do unprecedented things at Texas until it went. And he's already, in terms of, there's like some stuff I could give you the bullet points. This has never been done at Ole Miss. This has never been done at Ole Miss. This is the first time this has been done at Ole Miss in 30 years. Like, there's a lot of that stuff already connected to him. Like, he thinks he's got a really good team. He likes his team. And they're older, and, they went into the transfer portal. They got Dre Davis out of Seton Hall.
Our boy Matthew Morrell's for
Matthew Morrell's still there.
A Memphis kid who loves playing in Memphis.
Right. Yeah, so it's going to be, it should be a fun environment. I saw Memphis announce the entire lower bowl is now sold out, so it's going to look good on television. And, it's way more important game for Memphis than it is Ole Miss. Ole Miss, whatever happens on Saturday, I mean, let's get specific with it.
Yeah.
Based on current projections I just told you, Memphis has 0 quadrant 1 opportunities the rest of the way. You want to know how many Ole Miss has based on current projections?
13.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
Close.
In the regular season. They have 15 more quadrant 1 opportunities in the regular season based on current projections. Memphis has 0.
So you're saying all these words, and I'm saying this is a must-win game for me, GP. For me,
I understand why you feel that way.
I'm calling this a must-win game. You need it for the fan base. You need it for the temperature of the program. This is a must-win game.
Let's call it that then.
Marshall Henderson ain't walking through that door, GP.
You better hope not.
Oh,
you better hope not. Tigers and Rebels Saturday inside FedEx Forum.
Number 5.
I went to the movies last night, Dev.
Oh, there you go.
I went to the movies last night.
Wait, when you go to the movies, are you a popcorn guy? Like, what's your like?
Well, I was just coming off of Christmas dinner.
Okay, that you spit out.
That I spit out. But before that, I consumed food.
Okay, yeah.
I digested some.
Okay.
I spit some out.
Okay.
You
live and you learn.
Yeah, I was diverse with it.
Yeah.
I spit some out and then I consumed some. So I didn't actually get any food at the theater. Is that weird? Should I have gotten something?
I feel like every trip to the theater, you got to get at least like a little pop or something.
Yeah, well, my wife got popcorn and the kids got candies and I got high noons.
You should get high noon at the movie theater.
3 of them.
Damn. 3?
It was 2 hours and 20 minutes, Bennett. What do you mean to do? I wanted 4, but I didn't want to get up.
What flavor?
Peach.
Okay.
Peach.
Okay, shout out Justin Bieber. Okay,
Yeah.
Shout out to the hot news, man.
So, the new Bob Dylan biopic came out yesterday, starring Timothy Chalamet. It's called A Complete Unknown. And I love Bob Dylan. I wasn't, like my buddy Randall had asked me a few weeks ago, like, are you excited about this movie? And I was like, I will see it because I love Bob Dylan and Timothy Chalamet is obviously super talented. But am I excited? I didn't feel excited. It wasn't like I can't wait. I didn't expect to go see it on Christmas Day. But, it was Christmas yesterday. And, my little guys get up about 7:15 and Santa Claus is coming. And so we do all that stuff.
Yeah.
And, but by 9:30, the kids are on their Oculuses and like they don't need us anymore. They're like trying to figure out whatever it is they're doing in their own little worlds. And we're sitting around and like, we can turn on a basketball game or a football game. But like we don't have anything to. This is one of the weird things about getting older. I hope this never happens.
Ooh, I hope it never happens to me.
One of the weird things about getting older, you have fewer places to go.
Oh yeah, no, that's definitely happened to me.
People die.
Yeah.
People die.
Yeah, you got less houses to check box up. Yeah.
There used to. I can remember Christmas not too long ago where it was like, man, buddy, this is the most stressful day. We got to go to 3 places on Christmas Day. Yeah. We'd have to go to some range of days. Starting on Christmas Eve, maybe we did at my mother-in-law's, and then we'd end up at my dad's and my mom's, and then my wife's aunts, and somewhere else, and we might have to go to grandma's house once, but like, and then you get older and people,
crossover.
You know what happens.
I cross over to the other side.
You heard about what happens, and so then you just look up and it's like, man, we don't have anything to do today.
Yeah.
What are we doing today? So at some point yesterday, I'm like, you want to go to the movies? Like we don't have any.
Wait, was it when you said that were the kids excited?
No, I was just talking to my wife at this point because we don't have a lot of laying around time.
Yeah.
Like she owns a store and you know what I do.
Yeah.
There aren't many days where it's like, what are we doing today? We don't really have those days very often.
Yeah.
And suddenly we're just in the middle of one and it was 10 o'clock in the morning. It's like, we don't have anything to do. So I was like, you want to go to the movies? And I was like, what's that? Like the new Bob Dylan film. So she was like, do you think we can take the boys? And I was like, well, they'll watch it, but they're going to argue about it.
For sure.
I mean, they'll fight us on the way.
Yes.
But like once they're there, you just get them some Skittles and, nerds and they'll be fine.
Yeah.
But it's going to be. So we tried to rope them in, like try to get them excited. So it was like, hey guys, come in here. Let's watch the trailer.
Oh, okay.
Turn on the trailer.
Start with the trailer
on
okay.
YouTube.
Yeah.
So just a complete unknown trailer. Watch it. Boom. And they were not excited.
They're like, screw this. I want to go play with my Oculus, bro.
Yeah, they actually said, screw this. I want to go play. Like, I think that's a direct quote. Yeah. Except they might have said, F this, depending on like how they talk sometimes. So they go, and I'm like, well, at that point, we're just laying in bed. We're just sort of like, I mean, it was a lazy day.
Yeah.
And you know how YouTube works. Like, you watch a video, and then, like, it just, something else comes on.
Yep. The next trailer, baby.
Well, it went straight from that to the famous 60 Minutes interview that Bob Dylan once did with Ed Bradley that I've watched 10 times. Mm-hmm. It's about 15, 20 minutes, and it's just great. It's just, if you're ever just interested in Bob Dylan, and it's his first television interview in 20 years, and he's just as weird as you would think. It's awkward, but it's also enlightening and sweet and odd, and it's just great. So it comes on, and I'm like, all right, well, let's just watch this. And then it goes off, and the next video that plays is it Zane? Who is the music guy that does all the interviews?
It's
Zane,
not Narwhal, is it?
Zane Lowe.
Okay, yeah, okay.
You know Zane Lowe.
Yeah.
So you could do Zane Lowe Google searches. He's the type, he'll sit down and talk for an hour with Kendrick Lamar. He'll sit down and talk for an hour with Doechii, whatever. So after this 60 Minutes interview concludes, it goes straight to this Zane Lowe and Timothée Chalamet. And they're sitting in a Manhattan theater where Timothée Chalamet used to, where he was a teenager, getting experience. And they just start talking about this. And Timothée Chalamet explains, like, I've turned down a lot of interviews, but I wanted to talk to you about music because I've watched you talk to people about music all the time. And you're the first person I want to talk. I haven't talked about this with anybody. I want to talk to you about it. So it was compelling, and it was just great. They were just great. And Chalamet's like, he's a really interesting guy.
Ever since the College Game Day thing, I've been hearing his name a lot more.
He's awesome.
He's like a good dude.
He's up there.
Yeah.
Like
the new heartthrob is what they might call him. You think it's the new heartthrob?
I'll say this. I'm comfortable saying this. Oh. If I were a young woman, if I were a young straight woman,
yes,
or a young gay man, that is the type of person I'd be interested in.
Really?
Yes.
Timothée Chalamet?
Yes,
okay.
But not just because of the way he looks.
Yeah, but he's just like, it seemed like a charming,
He seems awesome.
Shout out to
I saw a
Chalamet,
comment,
man.
somebody made a comment last night. He's extremely confident, extremely talented, but very likable. And that's a weird combination to pull off.
Especially nowadays.
When you are very confident in your own abilities and after all the big things in the world, but then also people find you incredibly likable and humble. That's a hard combination to pull off. Not many people can. He seems to pull it off pretty well. So by the time we're done with the Zane Lowe interview, I'm like, let's go watch this.
Gotta go see it.
Like now I am kind of excited.
Yeah.
Let's go see it. So we went, and it was a perfectly enjoyable 2 hours and 21 minutes of a film. You're never bored. I don't know that you learn like all the mysteries of Bob Dylan's life. In fact, you don't. That's sort of like baked into it. Like even the people who know this guy don't know this guy. Even his girlfriends don't know this guy. Like his one girlfriend doesn't even realize Bob Dylan's not his name until she sees it on an envelope somewhere.
Oh no.
But one of the things Timothée Chalamet says in this interview is like, because Zane asked him, it's like, so how did you, are you a lifelong Bob Dylan fan? He's like, embarrassingly, no. Like I'm 20, he's like 27, 28 years old. He's like, I'm aware of Bob Dylan, but no. He said, they approached me about this part, then I dive in, and now
I'm
in it.
full on. I'm Bob Dylan, yeah.
And so what he hopes is that this can bring young people back to Bob Dylan. Because I think and this is certainly my experience, I don't know when my music interest sort of shifted to, I really like words, I really enjoy words. It happened at some point, but if it ever happens to you, eventually it will lead you to Bob Dylan. Because people say, oh, if you like words, you got to check this out.
What the hell's words?
Just lyrics, just
words.
words. Just words. I like words. The words matter to me.
Okay, there's something like an album. Okay.
No, just like
just the lyrics of a song, like the.
If you ever get to where the most important thing to you about music is the words, the lyrics, not the way something makes you feel or the way it sounds, the way it makes you move, that's all fun stuff too. But the actual words.
Okay.
If you ever like fall in love with words, it will lead you to Bob Dylan.
Interesting.
And then you start leading other, and it's just that's the way it happens. And so this could be that for younger people. Timothée Chalamet said he hopes. He's like, I wasn't familiar with Bob Dylan's work. You know some of the songs just because it's impossible to be an American, not hear them here or there. But I wasn't familiar with Bob Dylan's work or the story, and but now I am, and I will forever be. And I hope this can be something that brings younger people back into that. Also said he never met Bob Dylan.
Really?
He's never met him, but would love to. Just hasn't had the opportunity.
Wait, he did a whole biopic and he's never met him? Okay, that's a little weird.
Bob Dylan's a little weird.
Okay, that makes
yeah, like Bob Dylan is not the type who would want to meet you.
You can't do a GP. That's like me say, hey, I'm gonna do a biopic on or Donovan Mitchell, right? People say I look like Donovan Mitchell, and I'm like, hey, did you meet Donovan Mitchell to do your movie? Nah, I really link up with him at all.
You know, like Bob Dylan doesn't really want to be bothered. He just doesn't want to be bothered by you. Like he can respect you. Bob Dylan did tweet recently, like earlier this month, like there's a new movie coming out about me. Timothée Chalamet is playing the lead role, and he's a brilliant actor, so I'm sure he'll do a great. It was like one of those. It was sort of. It probably wasn't what you dreamed of if you're Timothée Chalamet, but it was something.
It was something.
It was an acknowledgement, and he acknowledged that and was like, "I'm floored. Thank you, Bob. But he's great.
Okay.
And really all the characters are great. Elle Fanning's in it. She plays his initial girlfriend in New York. She was fabulous. I thought it was well acted. The story's compelling. Like my little guys are.
That's what I was going to ask. Okay, after the movie, when they walked out.
They both liked it, and we got in the car, and they both wanted to listen to Bob Dylan on the way home.
See, that means it did its part then.
That's right.
If the young ones, when they walked out, they said, I want to listen to Bob Dylan, that means the movie did its part.
We got in the car, and they held my wife's phone, and they were reading lyrics as we listened to Bob Dylan songs on the way home.
That means the movie did its part. Because a lot of biopics, GP, kids are like, all right, bro, like, all right.
Okay, well, like we did Elvis, and it did not bring young people back to Elvis.
Exactly. Like, wrap this up, bro. I'm trying to play on my Oculus,
like
dog.
young kids didn't start listening to Elvis when that Elvis movie came out. As great as it was, and Austin Butler and all that, it's just, my kids weren't like, put on Jailhouse Rock, But my kids did want to listen to Bob Dylan. Now, they might be right back into Juice WRLD today, but at least last night for a minute, they wanted to listen to Bob Dylan. I thought it was fun. I would, 2 thumbs up from me and my family.
Okay.
We had a good night at the movies. We'll be back with GP's Carryout.
Grizzlies fans, dunks, dimes, and no looks are great on TV, but nothing compares to catching them IRL. And that starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight in person. From seeing your favorite Grizzlies stars up close to hearing the squeak of the sneakers on the hardwood. Put that jersey collection to use and get tickets at Ticketmaster. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside, Memphis. Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
Our fans have a huge impact on our ability to play to the level that we're striving for.
Drop off, Morant. Oh! Well, you wanted home crowd involvement.
I love those moments where you see our guys engaging in the fans, and the fans just get pumped up.
They are standing in FedEx Forum.
I would hate to be on the other side with the opposition when FedEx Forum's rolling. That's such an unbelievable relationship that our group has with our fans.
When it's all on the line, you turn to the strong, the stable, the unwavering, to those with a history of raising their performance to meet the moment. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies checking from Pinnacle. Play hard, bank easy.
Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st, and you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing beats catching your Grizzlies IRL, and nobody knows that better than you. So next time you want to hit up a game, Ticketmaster's got your back with tickets to every upcoming matchup. Whether you're catching the Grizzlies at home or on the road, you'll find tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Keep putting that jersey collection to use and get Grizzlies tickets today. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside again soon, Memphis.
Welcome back. Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South. Let's wrap this up with GP's Carry Out. Look at you. I didn't. Look at you.
I was worried.
I can see it on your face.
GP.
I said, don't worry about it. You got to get another button to push.
Yeah.
What did we learn
There we
today?
go.
Oh, man, you're on it. You're on it now.
Oh, no. Go ahead.
Hey, we got like 4 minutes left in the year. Let's just get out of here.
Yeah,
all right?
you got it.
All right, let's just get out of here.
I was perfect until the end.
What did we learn today? I think a lot, actually. I learned you can't eat at other people's, not everybody's houses. You need to be a little more picky about that. I didn't know. I thought if I was at your house and you offered me something, I'd be polite and try to take it. Dev says that's not what his grandma told him. I didn't realize that. A lot of stuff I'm learning lately. I just learned how to part last week from Mike. So we learned a lot today, but for me, that's the most important thing. Look around. Just because somebody got food and they're putting it in your face doesn't mean you need to eat it.
You need to eat it, GP.
It's not something I ever thought about too much, but you're making sense to me.
There you go.
What's today's biggest game?
Thursday Night Football. It's so weird not hearing this music right now.
Yeah. See, I really screwed that part up.
You have no, just little things like that. Suddenly not hearing something is distracting.
Because there's a thing on there, but I can't fast forward. It's a whole thing.
But let's not even worry about it. We got 2 minutes left for the year. We're fine. Seahawks Bears, Soldier Field, Chicago, Illinois. Seahawks are a 4-point favorite on the road. Total's 42.5. It's on Prime Video, 7:15. We streaming sports again tonight. How you going to act?
I'm excited.
What are we watching on TV?
Well, I was going to ask you how you want to pick it, but you didn't want to be Big Bet Bennett.
I don't want to be Big Bet Bennett.
Okay, that's fine. Let's just move on there.
Yeah.
What's the best thing we've read?
You're way out of order.
Oh, I am?
Yes. You could not be doing worse at this. We have TVs next.
Oh, TV, okay.
What are we watching on TV?
Is that good?
I'm glad you asked, Deb.
There you go, yeah!
Hey, I told you about the Nate Bargatze stand-up special on Netflix. He's really blown up over the past few years. He's from the Nashville area. He's got the Southern accent. He played FedEx Forum earlier this year.
Yep.
He's tremendous. He just took off, and now you see him on College Game Day. He's hosted SNL twice. New special dropped on Christmas Eve on Netflix, about an hour. Just terrific. It's he's a clean language comedian, but hilarious. Hilarious. His stories, I'm surprised they haven't done this yet. And if they are doing this, know that I don't know. I'm just saying this off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Some television network or streaming network or something should just take the stories he tells in his stand-up thing. You could build sitcoms around just his stories.
Wow.
Just him and his wife and his daughter, and just have the stories that he's already telling you and just turn them into sitcoms, and you'd have a #1 hit sitcom.
You're welcome, CBS.
There you go. Do it. Put that on Paramount Plus. Nate Bargatze's on Netflix.
What's the best thing we've read?
Is that it? All right?
Yeah.
Yes!
That's good, man. Best thing we've read. It's not the best, but there are some breaking news we had right before the show started today. Miami coach Jim Larinaga has retired. ACC coach walking out mid-season. Miami was off to a rough start. They're 4-8 coming off a loss to Mount St. Mary's. Jim was just in the Final Four 2 years ago. But then last year was bad. This year was worse. He's 75 years old. I thought there was a decent chance he'd walk away when it was over or be nudged out when the season ended. Didn't think he'd be calling it a career the day after Christmas, but Miami is holding a press conference later today to announce Jim Larinaga is retiring as head coach at Miami. You can read about it at cbssports.com.
What's on tap for tomorrow?
Well, tomorrow's Friday. All right?
Yeah, it's Friday,
So
man.
we got a best of shows tomorrow. Let's run through this real quick. Tell me if I've got this right. You just correct me if I get anything wrong.
Let's see.
Best of shows tomorrow.
Check.
Best of shows on Monday.
Check.
We're going to be off Tuesday.
Check.
We're going to be off Wednesday.
Check.
And then we're going to be back in studio with live shows a week from today on Thursday, January 2nd.
You are correct about that, GP.
Look at me, man. Don't
look at
ever.
you. You look at company man, GP.
Don't ever tell me I don't read my emails.
Yeah, Verda, you hear that? Read your damn emails.
I might get to them late, but I'll get to them eventually.
There you go. I might get to this music eventually, but we're here.
Yeah,
it's fun.
Hey, thank you for being here.
Hey, thank you, GP. It was fun, man. It was fun.
I hope Big Bet Bennett's enjoying the Magic Kingdom.
I mean, I've been seeing his selfies on IG, so he's living it up.
He is, buddy. As somebody who has taken young children to Disney World, just let me tell you, it ain't ever exactly what it looks like on Instagram. For every good Instagram picture, there's a moment where you were really stressed out about some shit you didn't think you was going to be really stressed out about, right?
Gotta make it look good, man. That's
But
what
you gotta
Instagram's
make it
for.
look good.
Yeah.
That is actually what Instagram is for.
I've always
to
told my
make your
friends,
life look better than it is.
You know what I call it? Your Balls Life mixtape.
There you go.
It's your Balls Life mixtape. It is the highlights of your life.
Yes,
no misses, no turnovers, no block shots.
My Instagram looks amazing.
Exactly.
It looks like I'm having the best
You're
life
having
ever.
the best life ever.
If I'm being honest with you,
it's coming in.
If I'm being honest with you, I'm just, I mean, I realize I have a wonderful life, but I don't always feel that way.
Exactly. But you look on your Instagram,
buddy. It looks like I'm living the life.
Pristine life, man. But yeah, Balls Life mixtape. So we gotta start putting misses on Instagram. You wanna know how to find the misses, GP? I'm gonna give you a cheat code. You ready? If you wanna, you're not in this world. I'm not in this world either. But for the world that listens, you wanna find the misses?
I do.
You go to someone's Instagram, go to the tag photos.
That's where
That's how you find the misses.
Go look at some people
So
today.
you find the shots that got blocked off the backboard, the steals, the turnovers. They're all in the tag photo. There you go. Don't ever say I didn't teach y'all something.
You taught me a lot today,
There you
Dan.
go, man.
We might need to do this more often. It's not like I'm trying to push Bennett Doyle out the chair,
Yeah.
but I learned something today.
Bennett, go to Disney more often.
Maybe Bennett needs to go to Disney more often. I learned a lot of things today. Now I have a better understanding of when I can eat and when I can't eat.
There you go.
And I didn't know that this time yesterday. I appreciate you.
No problem. Hey, look, man. I'm one text away. One text away.
I got your number.
I don't know how to do this ending thing.
Everybody, enjoy the rest of your year. All right? I'm going to enjoy mine. And let's be back here January 6th at 10 o'clock. Till then, be careful, be kind, be good. Rep your hood.